Good evening, folks, and we are here at Phelps Field for this matchup, Friday night matchup, as the number 3 undefeated Westside Warriors are going up against the 1 and 2 Papillion-La Vista South Titans. My name is Jaden Taylor. Alongside me this evening, once again, is Raj Jernstrom. It's a beautiful night for football. We got a little bit of sun in our eyes, but we're getting into fall. We're getting into the nitty-gritty.
You couldn't ask for a better evening to watch a high school football game. 72 degrees right now here at Phelps Stadium. There's hardly any wind, about 11 miles per hour out of the north. The cloudy skies, but Jaden, good news, no rain in the forecast tonight here for this big matchup.
Yeah, we know we saw some rain in the forecast last night for a little bit of those 3 different games that were last night. We'll get more into that in a minute. But looking here tonight, we're going to bring us back to last week's game as Westside took on Papillion-La Vista last week, and it was a close one. Going into this, Westside was a complete outmatching statistically over Papillion-La Vista, and Papillion-La Vista started this game off hot.
Yeah, they jumped out to a 14-0 lead and really struck first in the opening quarter of the game. But Westside rallied to take a 24-21 lead at halftime. But I'll tell you what, Jaden, they had to hold on at the end of that game to win it 31-28 by a field goal. And that's one of the reasons that the Warriors dropped down one spot from number 2 to number 3 in the Omaha World Herald poll. And now we're going to see kind of a jumble in the ratings now that Millard South has knocked off Bellevue West.
And we'll get more into that in a minute, but looking at this game overall, I mean, Westside and Papillion-La Vista, Papillion-La Vista started off that game. Their first play of the game was a 75-yard touchdown pass. And looking at the stats between these teams, the Monarchs really passing-wise really outmatched the Warriors this week.
Well, I'll tell you what, this Papillion-La Vista team really put up some passing yards. If you check it out, they had 325 yards, 55 yards rushing, but the West Side really came in with a balanced attack, and that enabled them to win the game.
Yeah, overall, West Side really capitalized on those 2 third and fourth quarter touchdowns, and what a connection that we've been able to have from Colby Brown to Grant Guyette.
Yeah, Grant Guyette, he is the state's leading receiver right now. He averages 108 yards a game. He has really come on strong the last 2 games with 4 touchdowns, 2 in the last 2 games.
And a big piece of that as well as incoming quarterback Colby Brown. We gave him our Time 42 player of the game last week, 18 for 28 passing, 259 yards, and of course those 2 bombs to Grant Guyette. He has really found himself this season.
The big thing he has done since that first game is his accuracy. His completion percentage is about up to 60% right now. And the other thing that he's done, he hasn't thrown interceptions. He's really kept the Warriors in the game with his arm, and he's done a great job, especially the last 2 weeks, and Grant Guyette's his favorite receiver.
Last week was definitely a nail-biter. These Titans that we're going to see today are used to nail-biters. 3 different games this season that have come down to 1 score. They were up 26-0 to start off the season against their arch rival at Papillion-La Vista. 28 unanswered points in the second half for Papio. They were able to win that one, and they showed why they had fight, especially last week up against Westside. Then the next week after that, they're finally able to get their first win up against, at that time, a ranked Lincoln East team. Noah Walters was having one of the best nights of his career, but could not get into the end zone for his team. And Papillion-La Vista was able to score with 21 seconds left to win that one. Then last week, it went on the other end. Zane Flores and Gretna were able to take down Papillion-La Vista with a really close late score. Papio tried to score and got on the doorstep, but were stopped late in that fourth quarter. But these Titans are used to these kind of games.
Look at the graphic on the screen right now and notice what points they have allowed in the game. It's been 28 points in all 3 games. They're 1 and 2, but 4 touchdowns, that's about what they give up.
Hey, if Westside can put forward 4 touchdowns tonight, that's really the way to go if they really want to win this game. But throughout Class A, we've really seen a lot of big teams so far this season. These are really the 2 remaining contenders. But going forward, we talk about Millard South being able to take down Papillion-La Vista, Bellevue West last night. And then Bellevue West able to be somewhat of a still contender with this, being a top 10 team, these are kind of the 5 teams that we've seen be a part of the top of the rankings.
Yeah, you and I talked about this about 2 weeks ago, and the team that I thought was the best team in the state right now was Millard South, and it proved to be that team last night that went on the road and beat Bellevue West. They dominated the game in the second half to win it, and they've got a great team, good quarterback in Gabe Stenger. They've got some speed in the backfield, and they're just a really solid football team that Andy Means has right now, and that's why they're ranked number 1.
And talk about prep even as well, how they've been able to jump back after a really defeating loss in that first week, 23-8 to these Westside Warriors right here. They did not look good in that game offensively or defensively, but then they blow out Papillion-La Vista. They keep it really, really close, a 28-22 score up against Bellevue West, and they blow out the number 4 team in the state in Lincoln Southeast last night.
That is a huge win for the Junior Jays to beat Lincoln Southeast 41-7. Looks like a really good win for the Warriors right now when you look at that season opening win that they had over the Junior Jays, and by the time they have the wild card standings and they see, that'll look really good when they have the power standings.
So we're here on the KB pregame show. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll get more into this matchup here as the Warriors take on the Titans.
It's a big moment with a lot of emotions when you hand the keys over to a new driver. We want you to buckle up, slow down, and please no texting while driving. Our family cares about your family, and your safety is our #1 priority. At Dingman's, we'd rather be the best than apologize for anything less. Visit us at one of our 4 convenient locations or dingmans.com.
Back here on the KB pregame show as the 3-0 Westside Warriors are going up against the 1-2 Papillion-La Vista South Titans. Once again, I'm Jaden Taylor. Alongside me is Jernstrom. So continuing to go between these two teams specifically, look at the stat comparison between these two teams. They're comparatively similar, but they really switch up in their attacks.
Absolutely. If you look at the screen, you'll see that the Warriors have 182 passing yards compared to 132 for Papio. Rushing yards, 92 for the Warriors. Look at what Papio South does, 227 yards, but they only average about 26 points a game, and they've lost against their opponents 28 points, only less than a 2-point differential on them.
Yeah, a big thing talking with Coach Clemenger for this game overall, it's really about being able to get over that hump. They're really close with these top teams. They saw that last week against Gretna. How can they make a noise? How can they make an impact early and get over that hump to where they're not falling behind late in those games?
Absolutely. That's a big difference in the game. You want to get off to a big start, a good start, for your team here in this game, and then that gives you the confidence as you go through the game.
So a big storyline to talk about for this Westside team is the injuries that this team has been going through. 5 different starters out going into this game. A lot of guys that have been a big impact. Top 5 tackler in the state in a linebacker, Tommy Connolly. A really big piece to the offensive line, R.J. Eckert. Really both sides of the ball, running back and defensive back in Jamez Ross. A really big piece missing in senior leader, wide receiver and safety, Jack Wimmer. And then a really upcoming sophomore who has a big piece to this team, but is going to be out this week due to some injuries, is Trevor Spady.
Well, it gives you a chance for some players to come in that have some youth and maybe step up, and maybe Westside might find some players that normally don't play a lot in the games, and this will give them a chance to shine tonight, and that'll be the difference in the game for the Warriors.
So looking at the guys they're going to be bringing in for this week is going to be linebacker Bo Ryan, a sophomore who had a really big impact last week since Tommy Connolly was out last week as well. We're going to see a little bit of a switch at the line. The center, Jack Wynn's going to be moving over to the left guard, and then now starting at center, the senior Nico Bitzes, a guy we're going to see that we hope does not struggle at defensive back. We saw struggle up against Omaha North, Isaac Richard, the junior, and then a really big piece of this team that you can see right now. The guy has athleticism. The guy has athleticism in his veins, Caleb Bennett.
Yeah, his dad is Damon Benning, who was the most valuable player for Nebraska in the 1996 Orange Bowl. He's got some talent in the family, and Caleb's also a basketball player. So you've got an athlete there, and we'll see what he can do because he didn't play in the first 2 games, and maybe he'll be the difference maker tonight.
So we'll take another break here on the KB pregame show. When we come back, we'll give you guys the national anthem here and give you some spotlight towards this ball game.
Conducted by drum majors Alexander Brown, Lindy Davis, Kaylee Jones-Siebert perform our national anthem. Now, Warrior fans, please remain standing and sing along with our band as they perform Fight on Westside. program. We'd like to thank all of our fans.
It's a big moment with a lot of emotions when you hand the keys over to a new driver. We want you to buckle up, slow down, and please no texting while driving. Our family cares about your family, and your safety is our #1 priority. At Dingman's, we'd rather be the best than apologize for anything less. Visit us at one of our 4 convenient locations or dingmans.com.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. May God be with you all.
And the Warriors come onto the field here in this Friday night matchup as the Westside Warriors and the Papillion-La Vista South Titans are just seconds away from kickoff. It's Jaden Taylor, it's Jernstrom. It's a beautiful night for football. We're getting into this one.
I'll tell you what, I'm sure Brett Freund, the head coach of this Westside football team, was in the locker room before the game telling his Warriors, let's get off to a strong start after falling behind 14-0 last week against Papillion-La Vista. You have to watch this Papio South offense. They're one of the top 5 offenses in the state. They average 367 yards a game. They've got a great running attack, a strong passer, so they will get the ball first, and they've got to make a difference, Westside, on defense to stop this team.
The Warriors able to win the coin flip. They'll defer to take over in the second half. Stefan Adeyemi is the receiver back for the Titans. We got a good one here. Westside looking to continue their unbeaten streak in 15 straight games. The Titans, just like their brothers in Papillion-La Vista, looking to make this one interesting and an underdog matchup for them. Tristan Alvano will kick it away.
Great crowd here tonight. Still coming in the gates here at Phelps Stadium. The stands are full over on Papio side too. Great turnout by the Papio South student body. Jaden, get ready for a good one here tonight.
Looking for a deep boot from Tristan Alvano. And that one is into the end zone. So it'll be a touchback to start off this one. The Titans will start off at their own 25, looking to get an early drive going here in the first.
Look out for their quarterback, Brady Fitzpatrick, and also their running back, Devin Jones. He's done a great job on their offense. Those are the 2 key players on the Titans offense.
Big thing to see defensively for the Warriors is how can their secondary stay up, especially with losing Jack Wimmer, who's been such a presence for this team. How can Isaac Richard, Caleb Benning, Jackson McIntyre, and Teddy Rezak start it off? Fitzpatrick steps back to try to roll out to the left. He's going to take it for a run, and he'll be stuffed for maybe a gain of 1. And an early defensive ability for the defensive line to get into the backfield for the Warriors.
In good intensity there by the Warrior defense, not letting them get any daylight over there on the left side. And it's a quick huddle for Papio South.
Grant Guyette on that last tackle. He's playing both sides tonight at linebacker. 3 out wide to the right for the Titans. Fitzpatrick, little shovel pass over to Devin Jones. Cut back up the middle, and he'll be taken down. Westside's defensive line showing off early, and it's a 3rd and long.
It was a great lateral movement there by the Warrior defense, and now it's 3rd and long. And I'll tell you what, there's a big play to start off with for the Warrior defense.
Kirk Kubrich with the tackle on that last play. Warriors with a 3rd and 9, trying to stop a 3rd down conversion, which we saw a lot of against Papillion last week. 4 out wide for the Titans. Fitzpatrick one to the side of him. He'll step back. Little floater pass out to the right, and incomplete, no flag.
That ball was way overthrown right there. I don't think the receiver could have got the ball. So it'll be a punting situation for Papillion-La Vista South, and Westside will get a chance to get the ball for the first time in this game.
Aiden Carlson will do both the kicking and punting duties today for the Titans. Caleb Benning back for the Warriors. We saw a lot of Dominic Rizak last year. We saw a lot of Avante Dickerson. Now the sophomore phenom in Caleb Benning trying to make an impact. Carlson will just get it off, and not a good punt will roll out of bounds, and the Warriors will get great field position starting at the 48.
Well, we'll see how this Westside offense comes back after last week when they scored 31 points. It was Colby Brown to Grant Guyette for about 10 receptions last week, and that was big.
So looking at the keys to success, the Viking Industrial pain and keys to the game for the Warriors, it's going to be set the tone early, find balance in the running and passing attack, and being able to get third down stops. It's something we did not see last week for the Warriors, trying to do something here against the Titans. So Colby Brown will hand it up the middle. It'll go to Dominic Rizak. He'll gain about a gain of 2 or 3 or 4 Titan tacklers on top of him.
You know, just play steady here. You got great field position to start off the game. Quick huddle here for the Warriors. It's a hurry-up offense.
3 out wide for the Warriors. Seen a lot more spread offense, especially throughout this season. Quick dump-off pass and incomplete, big hit on Dominic Rizak. That'll bring up a third down.
Well, this is the opportunity where you look for Guyette. Brown, that's his favorite receiver. Those two have really combined this season for some big yardage. And Guyette, look at this. He leads the state in receptions with over 108 yards a game.
He's been the Warriors' favorite receiver so far this season. You're also going to see a little bit of Caleb Benning here today. Not going to see Jack Wimmer. We'll see a little bit of Carter Hogan in the slot as well. 3 out wide to the right. Brown will step back. A lot of time in the pocket. Going to go long ball, and incomplete. Grant Guyette had to dive for that one, was unable to make the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I think Colby would like that one back. Wide open Guyette over the middle. The ball just thrown a little bit too far ahead of him, and he had to dive and couldn't make the catch, but that play would have worked.
And that talks about that set the tone mentality that we've been talking about and Coach Freund's really been talking about for this team. It's been so huge for them that they're able to make those plays early and get on top. Steven Adeyemi back. Marty Mormino with the punt. A high punt, and it will give a Warrior roll, and it continues to roll. Marty Mormino, one of the best punters in the state, shows why he does it, and he puts the Titans back at the 6-yard line.
Jaden, that was just a great punt right there. It traveled, let's see, about 44 yards, but most of it came on the roll. It would only went about 25 yards in the air, and then it rolled about 20 more all the way down to the 5-yard line.
Yeah, off the boot, that one did not seem like it was going very far, but the roll just let him continue to do it. So 2 3-and-outs to start it off for these two teams. 2 out wide to the right for the Titans. Fitzpatrick will take it himself. QB draw run, and he will be taken in the backfield. Defensive tackle Ryan Zadiska able to burst through the offensive line of the Titans and get the early tackle.
That was great penetration by the Warriors over the left side. Papio South didn't have anywhere to go on that play. Great start deep in Papio South territory for the Warriors.
So 2nd and 12 here. Papio South desperately needing to be able to get out of their own end zone. 3 out wide to the right. Devin Jones to the right and to the back. Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick will take it himself, trying to get to the outside. Cuts back in, but a huge stop. That is Caleb Benning. What a read by the safety. And Fitzpatrick was lucky he wasn't dragged back into the end zone.
That almost could have been a safety, about 2 yards short. He really hit him hard and pushed him all the way back into the end zone. But they're going to mark it about at the 5-yard line where he made contact in his forward progress.
So we have 3rd and 11 here. Titans 0-1 on their first drive. 2 out wide. And the refs call it dead. We'll see what they want to call it here. Westside fans not quite happy with that call. A little bit of noise coming out of the press box, too much, but we'll see here once again. 3rd and 11 for the Titans. 1 out wide to the left, 1 out wide to the right. I formation for the Titans. Quick movement at the line.
Dead ball flag on the play.
And it looks like somebody on the west side defense moved.
Yeah, that's too bad. Now it's going to be about a third and short situation, about 5 yards. So Papillion South, I don't think it'll change much on their call.
The Titans do like to mix up their passing game a little bit with some fades out to their tight end. You'll see that on your screen on the close side. Fitzpatrick, little screen out to the right, and they will pick up the first down. After the flag, the Titans will keep this drive alive.
Takes the ball out to the
Isaac Richard on the tackle for the Warriors. Not quite able to see who was able to make that catch for the Titans.
I think it was number 88, Medic, Ian Medic, their big 6'4" tight end.
2 out wide for the Titans here on 1st and 10. Fitzpatrick will step back. Little screen pass, and a big play able to be made by Isaac Richard on the near sideline, but the Titans will gain 3.
Good coverage there. Papillion South didn't get much on that play. That's what the Warriors need to do, not let them get it behind the receiver, and they made a nice play on that one.
And we've seen a lot of passing plays here early. The Titans have really been forced to be able to pass for a lot of long plays, but it'll be a big thing to see of how Fitzpatrick can use his legs if his offensive line can't help him out. Fitzpatrick, roll out to the left, trying to find something. Long ball, wide open pass, incomplete down the sideline. Woo. 2 different Warrior defenders were confused on who to go to, and Ian Medic was wide open down the sideline, but that throw was just barely too far.
Well, that's his favorite receiver, Medic, and he was wide open on that play. The ball just a little overthrown over his head along the far sidelines, but that was a good play by the Titans. It almost worked. They caught the Warriors sleeping back there in the secondary.
Medic on the season has 7 receptions in his first 3 games, 129 yards and 3 touchdowns. And we talked about the establishment of the run as well as the pass that the Titans have been able to bring this season. They're really passing starting out early. A little slant route out to the outside. It'll be a gain of 7 and a first down for the Titans, so they keep this drive going.
Now you know why this Papillion South offense has been so productive this season. They move the ball, a lot of short passes. They might go downfield for a big one, but they move the ball steadily along the offense, and they're doing it tonight.
We've really seen that for both of these teams this season. Last year, especially with the Warriors, it was big play after big play after big play. You didn't really see a lot of those long, drawn-out drives. But both these teams are really liking to take a lot of time off the clock, especially a lot different than what they saw last year. Fitzpatrick going to be eaten up in the backfield. It was Kurt Kubridge, the linebacker, able to move to the outside and get a great big tackle in the backfield. It'll set up a 2nd and 18 for the Titans.
That was a big play by the Warrior defense. Good penetration, got all the way back there, sprinted back, and held on to the quarterback for the big sack.
The Titans looking to regroup here on the 2nd and 18. This is definitely not an offensive showdown that we've seen here in the first 6 minutes of this one. We'll see if the Titans can chip away here. Fitzpatrick going to keep it himself. Design QB run, and he'll gain about 5, so it'll set up another 3rd and long.
Yeah, this is a key situation right here for the Titans. You know, they'll be looking for the long pass. They've got 14 more yards to go, so the Warriors can play back a little bit, maybe try to make a big play on defense. You might remember 2 weeks ago, Tommy Connolly picked off that pass and went in for a touchdown. Look for a big play here by the defense.
It's a really young defensive core. The secondary, like we talked about, is full of sophomores. And we'll see what they want to do here on 3rd and 14. Fitzpatrick, a lot of pressure, throws it up, and able to be caught across the seam. Caleb Benning tried to pick it off, but wasn't able to make the play. Ian Medic was able to jump up and grab that and barely get the first down, and the Titans are still rolling.
Medic's a huge target. He is 6'4", and he towers over that Warriors secondary, and that's why they look for him to make the big play, and they came up with it all the way out to the 45-yard line. and Papio South is back in business again. There was 6 minutes to go in the first quarter.
And really for the Titans overall, I mean, I think we both going into this game thought they would really establish the run to start off this one. They've been able to find the passing game. Fitzpatrick's been able to be, I don't want to say comfortable in the pocket, but has allowed himself enough time to make some big plays.
You know, he's a big tight end. Jaden, he reminds me of like when the Bucks and the Patriots have Gronkowski. When you've got a big tight end like that, a big target, he towers over those guys in the secondary, and that enables them to make the big play, and he's got some big plays that he has made this season. That's why he's the favorite target for the Titans.
So looking at our Viking Industrial keys to the game for the Papillion-La Vista South Titans, it's to be presence in the backfield. We've talked so much about Colby Brown really having a lot of time, even though they've had a really, really young offensive line. To be big for the Titans defensively to get Colby Brown uncomfortable if they want to get a lot of defensive stops. Big thing here on offense that we've seen here a little bit today, but hasn't been really seen successful for the Titans, is being able to allow Fitzpatrick to use his feet. He's been a guy that's been able to run so well this season, 288 yards in his first 3 games. Big thing as well, strong, precise passing attack. We've seen that right here.
Absolutely, and they're really rolling right now.
Another 1st and 10. Fitzpatrick, little pitch out to Devin Jones. He'll break 1 tackle, break another, and he'll gain about 3. And he'll bring up a 2nd and 7. Caleb Benning on the tackle for the Warriors.
You know, if Papio South can develop that running game with Devin Jones along with Fitzpatrick's passing, that's a 1-2 punch that'll be hard for the Warrior defense to stop if Thomas gets it going here in this, Jones gets it going in this game.
Both these teams really need to win this game right here. The Warriors still trying to contend with those top teams, Papillion-La Vista South, really trying to stay within the top of their district. Empty backfield, little pass out, and too long over the head of number 7, Stefan Adeyemi. And they'll bring up 3rd down.
There was no way he was going to make that catch. That ball was way over his head. Good coverage by the Warriors there in the secondary, and this brings up 3rd and long again for the Titans, but they've been able to make this big play so far tonight.
The 3rd down conversions have really worked well for the Titans here tonight. On 3rd down, they've been 3 for 5, looking to make it 4 for 6. And they'll spread it out wide once again. The 3 out wide to the right, 1 out wide to the left. Fitzpatrick will step back. A lot of pressure, little screen pass, give it off to Devin Jones. Going to cut back up the middle. It'll be close, but it looks like he might have got past the line.
Good pass right there. They moved the chains again. They found a winning combination on offense here, moving that ball, short little passes, a screen there, and they've really done well mixing it up here on offense for the Titans.
So I need to see another stoppage of play here. The Titans, once again, really trying to build these drives out. I don't want to say I want to relate this to what we saw from Millard North last year, but it's that same kind of mentality with Millard North that I've seen throughout the last 5-10 years. They live on being able to have a lot of time possession. Long throw out to the right, Medic over his head. And Fitzpatrick really struggling on those fade routes.
Well, I'll tell you what, the good defensive plan for Westside tonight should be stop Medic, because he's looking for him on just about every play where he goes. And they're trying to find that big play downfield to get past the Warriors. But that's kind of been their game plan tonight. Get the ball to Medic. He towers over that secondary for Westside, and he has come up with some big plays already tonight in the first quarter.
Straight eye set with 2 out wide. Pistol set, for the Titans. They'll hand it off to Devin Jones. He'll cut up the outside. Big hit, stuffed. Caleb Benning able to lower the shoulder, and it'll force a 3rd down.
Big 3rd down play here for Westside. They're starting to get deep into Warrior territory out at the 42-yard line. The Warriors need to hold them here and not keep this drive alive.
I think once again they're really going to look at Medic here on another 3rd down opportunity. A guy in the NFL that I see Medic kind of looking as. He's able to work in the slot really well. He's able to work out of the wide to the right. He reminds me a lot of Kyle Pitts. He's that fluid type of wide receiver tight end. And we'll see what they go to here. Little motion out to the left. Fitzpatrick's going to be taking it on a run. Tripped up, cutting back in the middle. And 5 Warrior defenders pounce on him. So the Titans, after trying to start a big drive, are in a decision time now here on 4th and 11.
Good pursuit there by the Warrior defense. It really didn't look like Papillion really had any chance on that play. They really clogged it up in the middle, and it looks like the Titans are going to punt the ball away here.
Once again, Aiden Carlson will do the punting duties today for the Titans. Caleb Benning back to receive for the Warriors. A cool relationship that we've seen, especially in home games on the sideline, is the way David Benning talks to his son before these games. It's really interesting. It's really fun as that kick is tipped and will go out of bounds. So once again, back-to-back drives, the Warriors will get really good field position.
That punt only traveled about 5 yards, and the Warriors are in great field position again for the second time in this game. They get the ball inside the 40-yard line, between the 40 and the 50, and they'll start from the 41. This will be their second possession of the game. They'll try to get something going. That last time there was 1, 2, 3 and punt.
But a really slow offensive night for both these teams. Warriors on their second drive with just 3:20 left to go here. Colby Brown under center. I formation for the Warriors. Little pitch out to the left. Dominic Rizak moving around, just barely able to get 4 yards on that one. And had a leap over a couple defenders.
Great pursuit over the right side by the Papio defense. Dominic did not have anywhere to go, so he cut back and got about 4 yards on that play.
Broden Ball, the one able to trip up Rizak there. It's going to be another I formation with 2 out wide to the right for the Warriors. Handoff to Rizak, wide open hole. He can make this one big. He is in open space. Dominic Rizak, 55 yards for the touchdown. And the Warriors pounce on the Titans here late in the first quarter.
Dominic Rizak found a hole up the middle, and he went the distance, outran the Papio South Titans secondary, and went all the way for a touchdown. Jaden, he has averaged about 99 yards in every game, and he got a big one there with a 55-yarder.
And the biggest thing that we've seen from Rizak this season is his explosiveness. Once he gets into open field, he is gone.
And I think the people in Colorado Springs at the Air Force Academy drew a big smile on that one right there.
And many may remember the quarterback of last year of Millard South, the top 4 team in the state last year. He's going to be moving around with TJ Urban. Talk about that option offense.
That's the Omaha connection. That's a pretty good, 2 good athletes, and no better place for those guys to be. Great individuals on and off the field, and we'll see how they do out there in Colorado next year.
So we'll head to a break. Westside scores first here on WTV Live. Tristan Alvano will kick this one away. Once again, Steven Adeyemi is back deep for the Titans. Westside scores first on a 55-yard run from Dominic Rizak. And this boot is way deep into the end zone. Will go out of the back of the end zone. And the Titans will start off their 3rd drive of the day at the 25.
Great boot again by Tristan Alvano. I tell you what, that's a coach's dream when they have a guy who can kick off and get a touchback every time. It really eliminates any kickoff return. You know, sometimes, I mean, when Westside had Avante Dickerson, a lot of teams would have liked to have kicked it out of the end zone instead of having him run it back. And that's all a big play when you have Alvano to kick it into the end zone.
And Alvano's been another really big underrated piece to this team. I mean, he got a 47-yard field goal in the season opener against Creighton Prep. He hasn't had as many opportunities in late games, but he's really made the most of them.
And they may need him more tonight.
Devin Jones can go up the middle, break a couple tackles, and he'll be near the first down marker. So the Titans trying to start off with a big drive, maybe trying to answer back after that touchdown.
Like I said earlier in the game, if they can get Devin Jones some yards here, kind of balance out that offense, so Fitzpatrick won't have to go back there and get such a pass rush that he's going to get a lot of pressure. But if Jones can put some yardage on the ground, that'll help him out a lot like he did on the last play.
The pistol option style the Titans have been able to bring this season has been really big for them. As Fitzpatrick's going to take it himself, try to get around, but it will be tripped up by Cole Haberman. Haberman blew through that offensive line, and that might be a piece to see here for the Titans. They've really not allowed Fitzpatrick to have time in the pocket, really time to decide where to run.
Yeah, they lost a yard on that one. Now it's 3rd and 2, and this is going to be tough.
We'll see if they want to maybe see another pass play out to Medic. Fitzpatrick has not been quite as accurate on his third down passes when he's seen some floater. He's been really precise on a lot of his slant passes, but might want to go to Devin Jones.
Papio South looked over the sidelines. They might have changed the play when they saw it.
Bunched up set, little pitch out to Devin Jones. Try to cut back in, and will be tripped up, but will gain about 7. It'll be a first down for the Titans.
I think the coaches saw something there over on the left side of Westside's defense. They looked at Westside and changed the play from the sideline.
Titans will look to change up their play again. So we're headed to a minute left here in this first quarter. We've seen a lot of bunched up pistol sets as well as I formation sets for the Titans. A little slant pass out to the outside. Catch able to be made. Adeyemi able to get about 1.5 yards from the first down marker, and he's slow to get up.
But that's a good play on first down. You know, now it's only, 2nd and 2 out there at the 44-yard line. So that's a good play to start off on this series here.
We'll see if the Titans want to go to Devin Jones here. Jones this season, 312 rushing yards, 4 TDs, and averages just about 5 yards per carry. And they'll go to him on second down, but he is trying to work past. It looked like he got stuffed at the line, might have moved around.
It'll be really close. They're going to mark it and maybe see what kind of yardage he got on that play. And nope, they're going to move the chains. That's a first down.
So the Titans will move the change. They'll be down at the 45-yard line once we head to the second quarter. Westside, after a 55-yard run from Dominic Rizak, leads here early, 7-0. So looking at this game overall, I mean, the Warriors and the Titans overall have had drives that have been consistent, but haven't really been able to get to the end zone other than that really big run from Dominic Rizak.
Yeah, if you look at the time of possession in this game, Papio South has held the ball for probably 8 or 9 minutes in that game. Westside has hardly had any plays on offense in their 2 series they had. You know, they were out in their first series, 3 plays, and then they scored on the 3rd or 4th play of that drive by Dominic, so that was a big difference.
So we'll take a quick break here on WTV Live. Second quarter action up next. they'll reverse the call here. It'll make it a 3rd and 1 for the Titans. Bunched up I formation here for Papillion-La Vista South. Coach Clemenger still on the sidelines trying to talk to his quarterback of what to do here. A big 3rd down here for the Titans. Devin Jones will be stuffed behind the line. Caleb Benning and Jack James, the first one on the tackle. And it'll bring up 4th and 1. And it looks like the Titans will bring out the punting team.
Yeah, that was a great stop by Westside there. Didn't give an inch there. They might even have lost some yardage on that play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Big play by the Warrior defense here to start the second quarter.
Once again, Caleb Benning back deep for the Warriors. Might be a fake here. No, they're able to punt it away. Carlson kind of shanks that one once again, so the Warriors, for 3 straight drives, will force a punt and will give themselves great field position.
Yeah, they're going to mark that ball way up to about the 38-yard line. No, it's going to go all the way up to about the 43. Wow, that punt was only about 10 yards, Jaden. Big difference in the game.
That one kept flying out of bounds, but it really only went out of bounds, like you said, about the 43. So the Warriors, I mean, this is exactly the position you want to be in something like this.
Great way to start your drives over your 40-yard line all 3 times.
I formation set. Andrew Nielsen, the fullback, to the strong side. Dominic Rizak back in the I. An update over at Gretna and Lincoln Pius. Number 6 Gretna, who is undefeated going into this game, is down 14-0 to Pius the 10th. Possibly a really big upset there. Run up the middle of Dominic Rizak. He's able to gain, looks like about 3, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
That's that Class B rivalry, kind of their nemesis, Lincoln Pius the 10th. You got to watch out for that team, especially now that Gretna's moved up to Class A.
Zane Flores really has struggled in the first quarter of that one. And the Dragons really haven't been able to find much on offense. Dominic Rizak able to be tripped up, but will keep his footing and get down about a yard from the first down to bring up a 3rd and short.
But they're up near the 50-yard line. Quick snap for the Warriors right here, trying to get a Papio South off balance.
Another weak side set for the Warriors. They'll hand it off to Rizak once again. He is broken into holes and barely gets tripped up and is down at the 35. And man, that was close to being another really big in-space play for Dominic Rizak.
Yeah, Dominic had his momentum. It looked like he just kind of fell forward, and maybe a chance for another big play by Westside and Rizak to go to the end zone, but he looked like he just got tripped up there about 10 yards away.
Looks like Colby Brown will call an audible here on 1st and 10. We'll hand it off to Rizak once again, and he'll be pushed up about at the line. It'll be at most a gain of 1. The Warriors will try to keep this going here on 2nd down, but talk about the man in Dominic Rizak, a guy that was underrated as a really big piece of this team last year, but he was one of the best rushers in the state, and he's looking to do the same thing here this year.
Yeah, he made All-State honors. Just a great junior season for Dominic, and he's off to a good start here in his senior year.
68 yards on the day as Colby Brown will go to a flat route out to the near sideline, and a big stiff arm from Carter Hogan. He'll get down to the 19-yard line, and the Warriors will get another 1st down here on this drive.
You know, the Warriors will look to Carter Hogan because Guyette, everybody's going to be covering him as the state's leading receiver. So Carter Hogan is going to get some passes his way the rest of the season because Guyette's getting a lot of attention on the other side.
We saw Guyette a lot last year in the slot. This year we're seeing a lot of Carter Hogan. Dominic Rizak trying to get in the open space. He breaks through and into the end zone. Dominic Rizak, 2 touchdowns on the day. This one for 19 yards. And the Warriors are up 2 scores here early in the second.
Rizak just powered his way over the right side, took a few Titan defenders on him into the end zone. Just another great play. We've had a 55-yard touchdown run by Dominic Rizak in the first quarter, and here he goes in for his second touchdown of the game and ready for the extra point.
Well, Tristan Alvano once again will be on for the PAT. He's perfect this season, has one regular missed field goal and some early movement at the line. It looked like it was number 70, Nico Bitzes. And Nico's been another big part of this team. I mean, we saw Jack Wing, the sophomore, was really the center throughout the majority of this season. RJ Eckhart out this week. Wing moves over to the left guard. Nico, the senior, a really big senior at 6'1", 190, has been a big role for this team.
And they'll get ready, 5 more yards back, so it's a 25-yard extra point.
A late whistle, but looks like they'll let it go through. So the PAT is good, and the Warriors are up 14-0. And we're going into Dominic Rizak talking about his season so far. Going into tonight, 64 carries, 298 yards. She averaged 4.66 yards per carry. And although those are really good stats, it's not really what he wanted. Last year, he was over 7.5 yards per carry, and he is looking to make a big statement these next 3 games.
Well, I think last year Cole Payton dominated most of the offense, so he didn't really have a chance to do much there because the games were pretty much out by halftime or in the third quarter, and the starters went to the bench. But that was great for those guys a year ago. Games this year are a little more competitive. They're going all the way to the end, but Dominic, he's a big part of this offense. He's off to a great start tonight, and it looks like by the end he's going to have a big night. He's off to a great start.
I mean, this offense overall is really clicking here for the Warriors. We saw last week, the defense was not helping the Warriors out. This week, they're really being able to get big stops when they need to on third down. And their offense, more specifically Dominic Rizak, is able to make big plays and get this team a lot of yards.
What a difference a week makes. Last week, they were down 14-0. This week, they're ahead 14-0.
Another big boot will go into the end zone from Tristan Alvano, so 3 for 3 on touchbacks for number 74, and the Titans will start off at their 25 once again.
How would you like to be on the kickoff team and never have to tackle anybody? And that's the way Westside's done this tonight.
The guys I would feel really bad for are the guys right at the first line. They're the ones getting hit every single play trying to get a block, and 3/4 of the time, really 90% of the time, it's going out of the back of the end zone. The play doesn't even matter.
The coaches look really good on special teams on kickoffs right now.
Fitzpatrick, another quick screen pass. Be a gain of 4 for the Titans.
Fitzpatrick has completed the final for a gain of 6 yards, 2nd and 4.
And it looks like the Titans will come out. They've got a receiver to the near side of the field, and they'll try to get this rolling right here. A handoff up the middle, and it looks like, over to the left side, and good yardage there, about 10 yards.
Looks like Fitzpatrick was able to keep it himself, run to the left side. Another big play there.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick, if he can get the ball rolling, running the ball, he's such a good passer, but he's also a threat running the ball. If he can have some success doing that, that's good for the Titans. And the Warrior defense has to be aware of that every time he rolls out.
So it'll be another 1st and 10 for the Titans. 2 out wide to the right. Another bunched up set. Looks like 7 in the box for the Warriors. Fitzpatrick, little pump fake out to the outside, and catch is able to be made. Back shoulder throw. And it looks like it was Medic once again on the outer sideline. And defensively, it's really hard to be able to look at those plays, especially when you're not able to see the ball coming out of the hand.
I'll tell you what, he's just a great receiver. He can get open, and he's such a big target. Big catch right there, and they've got the ball at the 42.
Titans once again being able to really broaden out these drives. We'll see if they continue this going. Fitzpatrick going to keep it himself, go to the outside.
I'll tell you what,
gain about 3 yards.
I'll tell you what, Fitzpatrick does a nice job hiding the ball. I mean, he really deceives the defense on those handoffs, and he's able to get some daylight there when he runs a keeper like that, and he'll be a threat when he runs the ball.
It's exactly what this team needs so far tonight. 15 yards rushing for Fitzpatrick. The other guys that we've seen rushing-wise, Jaden Quillette as well as Devin Jones. Fitzpatrick, little screen pass out to the right. Adeyemi trying to get to the outside. It'll be brought back by Isaac Richard, but it'll be a gain of 3, and a late flag comes in.
That may be a face mask hold right there after the tackle, grabbing the face mask. That's what I'm looking for right here. No, it's on Papio South. Waiting for an indication from the official on what the penalty was.
It'll make it a really long second down.
On the offense, number 67, 10 yards, second down.
Block in the back, so that's what the penalty was on Papio South, and that hurts because they made some good yardage there.
Yeah, Mitchell Steenbach looks like the one that was trying to break up that play, trying to get a little bit of a block to allow Adeyemi to make some sort of play. Jaden Quillette now working out in a 5-wide set here for the Titans. Fitzpatrick by himself in the backfield, motion to the right from Quillette. Fitzpatrick, there's a flag on the play, looks like might be a free play for the Titans, and across the middle and able to make the play for the Titans. It'll be a gain of over 27 yards, and it comes down once again to Stephen Adeyemi.
And it looks like the penalty is on Papio South. Yep.
Thought the Titans might be able to give themselves a free play. We'll see what the call is from the official. Might have been offsides in that offensive line, but either way, you can't keep shooting yourself in the foot like the Titans have been here.
Yeah, they threw that flag right at the snap of the ball, so it was either offsides or motion.
We saw a little bit of a frantic. We saw two guys trying to motion. Adeyemi was confused whether he should be in the Z or the X.
Yeah.
And Quillette was trying to run at the same time.
You can't have two guys running at the same time.
Fitzpatrick steps back. Long ball throw, another flag up, and able to make the play down the far sideline. Stephen Adeyemi once again, but this one might come back. There's another flag on the play. And it looks like it'll be coming back once again.
You know, Jaden, this is starting to look like the Nebraska football team just hurting themselves with penalties. Nope, that play's going to stand.
So it looks like it was a late call. They called the penalty on the offense there, but didn't get a reasoning of why the play will stand. We'll see. But either way, the Titans will be able to get themselves inside the red zone for the first time today as we had near 6 minutes left to go here in the first half.
Well, one thing's for sure, this Papio offense can move the ball downfield. They've done it, but they've hurt themselves with penalties, but now they're in business on the 15.
Pistol set for Fitzpatrick. He'll step back, little fade route out to the left. Medic not able to make the play, just gets out of his reach. And Medic not happy with himself on that one, but that's a throw Fitzpatrick has to be able to get in stride to Medic.
Yeah, Medic looks frustrated with himself that he didn't catch that ball just off the fingertips. Just a great throw from Fitzpatrick way there into the corner of the end zone. That looked like a good play for Papio South there to get on the board.
So it'll make it a 2nd and 10. We'll see if the Titans still want to go to the passing attack, although Fitzpatrick has not been able to really connect well with Medic, although Medic has done a really good job of getting wide open. Fitzpatrick will take on a QB run, and he will be stuffed behind the line. 4 different Warriors grappling onto him, and it'll make it a 3rd and long.
Boy, on that play, Papillion South spread the ball way out. They had 3 receivers to the near side of the field and then 1 on the sideline on the far side of the field, and they just had a few players under the snap, and I'll tell you what, the Warrior defense did a great job there clogging it up.
Big 3rd down here for the Titans. Heading to 5 minutes left here in this first half. Fitzpatrick will step back. Another float pass into the end zone, and there'll be a flag. Teddy Rizak was in coverage, but it looks like there might be a defensive pass interference. A lot of hand fighting on that one.
Yeah, that was a tough call because he made a great job batting the ball away, but he might have touched the receiver in the end zone.
I think the biggest thing there, you saw Medic trying to retrieve to the ball a little bit, and him and Teddy Rizak, I don't think Rizak fully knew the ball was coming in a little bit closer, and they collided a little bit at the end of that throw, but it'll make it a 1st and goal for the Titans.
Down at about the 8-yard line.
Westside today, not usually one to have a lot of penalties. There'll be a timeout here in the 2nd quarter. The Titans on the doorstep of bringing this game to 1 score. The Warriors currently up 14-0 here on WTV Live. When we come back, the last of the 2nd half, Titans looking to score late. Back here, Fitzpatrick looking for a long throw to the end zone and is able to be made in the corner. Caleb Benning was beat. And Ian Medic once again shows why he's the Titans' top receiver and makes a huge play. And Papillion-La Vista South a PAT away from making this a 7-point ball game.
That was just a great throw by Fitzpatrick to the corner of the end zone, and Medic stretched out, made the catch for the touchdown. Just a super play for the Titans.
So they'll go for 2 here. Fitzpatrick will go into the end zone, and there'll be a 2-point conversion for Brady Fitzpatrick. So they'll move it to 14-8. And an odd play there. They lined up out wide and able to bring it in. So it's 8-0 in favor of 8-14. The Titans able to get back in this one. We'll take another quick break here on WTV Live. When we come back, Westside trying to answer with just over 5 minutes left to go. The Titans answer back After a 2-point conversion, they're within 6 of the Warriors. Brady Fitzpatrick was able to get the 2-point conversion, but before that, able to give a lofty throw to the corner for Ian Medic. Caleb Benning was unable to make the play defensively, and a quick stoppage of play here before the kickoff.
Illegal formation by the kicking team brings the ball back.
The Titans overall consistently comparatively simple things that they're continuing to be beat offensively for different penalties. So far today, they have 25 penalty yards overall. There's been a lot of them that have shot themselves into the foot like we mentioned a little bit earlier, but there's some really big penalties that are usually not too big for a lot of high school football teams.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Jaden, that 2-point conversion by Papio South, that could be huge in this game when you look at it. 14-8, only a 6-point margin.
3 back deep for the Warriors. It'll go to Caleb Benning. He touches it. He's able to bring it back. He'll try to bring it for a big play here. He'll be stuffed by 3 Titans defenders, and he's thrown down at the 19.
Well, this is the first time the Warriors have been way back in their territory. They'll start at about the 20-yard line, and the other times that they've had the ball, they've been up to near the 40. So field position could be a factor right here on this drive.
So we talked a little bit of how that 2-point conversion might be a big difference in this game. A kind of notable game that I remember to where the Westside and Millard South last year in the semifinals, the botched 2-point conversion was a big piece to allow the Warriors, who ended up winning by 2.
Yeah, but those 2-point conversions can be such a mental boost on a trick play like they had, where they just snapped the ball to the quarterback and he went up the middle. And that could be a big difference in this game. We'll have to watch it down the line.
And a lot of times those plays aren't always 100%. We're going to go for a 2-point conversion right out of the gate. A lot of times you'll see Fitzpatrick kind of read the defense a little bit and see where he wants to go. The Warriors really spread out in that one, and Fitzpatrick thought that he'd be able to make a play. Colby Brown trying to get out of the pocket. He'll run, and he'll step out of bounds for a gain of 2.
Yeah, Colby didn't see much on that play. Good coverage by the Titans. Just decided to put it under his arm and get what he could along the sidelines. It's also important that he does not get hit, because you don't want your starting quarterback to get injured in this game. But he made good yardage on that play, but it'll be about 3rd and 4.
Keegan Meehan and Jack Ripple both boosted into the backfield there, and it'll be a 3rd and 4 here for the Warriors. 3 out wide to the left. Brown trying to roll, will pass across the middle, well, it'll go incomplete. Carter Hogan unable to make the play across the seam, and it'll bring up a 4th down. The Warriors will bring out the punting team.
Yeah, the great defense there by Papio South, 3 and out, and I'll tell you what, they got that touchdown, the 2-point conversion, the second quarter with 4 minutes to go. You can see the momentum start to change right now.
So a change for the Titans in receiving this upcoming punt is going to be Jaden Quillette. Once again, Marty Mormino is going to be the one kicking it away. But still 4:22 left to go here in this 4th quarter. That one is almost tipped. And it'll be another Westside roll, but definitely not what Mormino wanted. But the Titans will force a 3 and out, and they'll start off at their own 47-yard line.
I'll tell you what, Westside was lucky to get that punt away. Mormino got a lot of pressure. Papio South really rushed the punter, and they almost got the block, but the ball, luckily for Westside, rolled all the way over the 50-yard line down to about the 47-yard line, and that's where Papio South will start off.
So the Titans looking to possibly get themselves in a scenario to possibly take the lead if they get a touchdown here. Fitzpatrick will roll out to the right. Big throw to the sidelines, incomplete. Isaac Richard there defensively able to tip that one out of bounds, and it'll be 2nd down.
Good defense there by the Warriors. Papillion South trying to throw the ball to move it downfield, but good coverage there by the Warriors. And the fact that it didn't go to the big wide receiver Ian Medic is big for the Warriors.
So we talk about Brady Fitzpatrick here tonight. These are the stats that he came into this game with. We've seen a lot of rushing for him so far tonight, but his passing attack, although has been precise in a lot of slants across the middle, he's been struggling a lot of the fades. Right here, it'll be a little dump off to Quillette. He'll be stuffed. Grant Guyette, the linebacker, able to make a play on him. And it looks like Quillette was able to just barely get back to the line, but it'd be a long third down.
It looked like that play could develop into a big gain. They had a lot of blockers, but Westside penetrated those blockers to get the tackle, and now it brings up 3rd and long for the Titans.
3rd and 9 here. Another spread out set, pistol set for the Titans. Quillette to the left of Fitzpatrick. He'll step back. Big rush. This one thrown up and deep. A lot of hand fighting by both sides. And it'll be a good no call there as Teddy Rizak was in coverage.
I'll tell you what, Medic was looking for the flag as soon as he went to the turf. He just could not get to the ball. Good defense by the Warriors there in the secondary, and that brings up a punting situation. Good momentum there, Jaden, because it looked like it was all going in Papio South's favor, but now they've got to punt the ball.
Especially with under 4 minutes left. This is crunch time to where Papio South could make a statement going into halftime. And if the Warriors are able to continue this stop here and then able to get another touch on their side, it's a huge momentum flip.
Yeah, that was a big series for the Warrior defense to answer.
Carlson will keep it himself, and he'll be able to just punt it away. That one goes deep. Benning's not going to grab it, and they're going to let it go into the end zone. It seemed like two Titans, specifically Medic, might have been able to make a play on it, but they'll go back into the end zone, and the Warriors will start off at the 25.
I'll tell you what, that's an interesting punting situation for Papio South. They've got kind of a rugby-style kicker who runs out just to see if there's any chance that he can run with the ball and then decides to punt it at the last second. And that worked out well for the Titans to get it into the end zone.
So here with 3:15 left, how important is it for these Warriors to get a touchdown drive?
Well, you remember 2 weeks ago, it was a big situation there when they were playing Omaha North. They drove downfield in the final minute of the first half and scored with 3 seconds left. They'll try to do that here too, and a big run here by Rizak.
Dominic Rizak wide open. He's continuing to go down the sideline. One more man to beat. They'll bring him down at about the 32-yard line. Dominic Rizak once again putting his team and his offense on his back. 48-yard run for Rizak, and he is taking over this game.
This is Rizak's night. We've waited for it, and it's coming tonight. Started off with that 55-yard run for a touchdown. Then he scored his second one and another long one by Dominic.
I formation to the weak side here. Colby Brown across the middle, overthrows Carter Hogan, and that one was close.
I'll tell you what, that had 6 points written all over it, over the middle right there, just a little far in front of him, but Hogan was open downfield. The Warriors trying to strike really quick here near the end of the first half.
A big thing to think about here as well. I relate it to the 2-minute drill, a big thing, but a lot of times, especially recently with how dominant Tom Brady has been in the NFL, I relate to the last 2 minutes to really Tom Brady time. You really do not want to give the Titans too much time if they score here.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Try to run some time off the clock, run the ball if you can to let that thing down, but you don't want to give your opponent too much time here at the end of the first half to maybe score and answer with another touchdown. 2nd
and 9 here. Warriors about 5 to 10 yards of being in field position here. Be a weak side I formation. Play action pass across the middle, and another drop by a Warrior. Once again, Carter Hogan unable to make the catch. It's his 3rd drop of the day.
Yeah, that's tough when the ball's thrown right to you and Westside couldn't make the play, and now brings up a 4th down situation. What are you going to do? You're probably in 4 down territory, and it looks like they're going to try to go for it.
So we'll see what the Warriors want to do here on 4th down. Freund is one to be known to like to jinx it up, especially in the last 2 or 3 minutes of the half. It's only 4 seconds left on the play clock, so it looks like Freund will call his second timeout of the night. And we'll take a quick break here on WTV Live. When we come back, Westside maybe looking to go for it on 4th down.
It's a big moment with a lot of emotions when you hand the keys over to a new driver. We want you to buckle up, slow down, and please no texting while driving. Our family cares about your family, and your safety is our #1 priority. At Dingman's, we'd rather be the best than apologize for anything less. Visit us at one of our 4 convenient locations or dingmans.com.
Fourth and 9 here for the Warriors. Colby Brown and Dominic Rizek in the backfield. Roll out for Colby Brown. Throw on the backside of Grant Guyette. And it's an incomplete pass, so the Titans will be able to take over on downs. Kobe Spire able to deflect that pass.
Yeah, that was a tough play for the Warriors. They really kept some people in the backfield just to block because they knew the Titans were going to put a lot of pressure on Brown, and he was able to get the throw off. But good defense there by the Titans defense. They were right on top of it, and now they'll get the ball back here with just over 2 minutes to play.
And definitely enough time here for the Titans to make a big drive and maybe even take over in this ballgame. Run up the middle, Quallette able to maneuver around but is tackled by Caleb Benning for a gain of 7.
And that keeps the clock rolling. You know, I'm kind of surprised that Papillion-La Vista South didn't come out throwing the ball.
Another 4-wide set for the Titans. Quick screen pass up high, and Isaac Richard able to continue the clock rolling, able to keep the wide receiver in bounds. So once again, this clock keeps going.
Yeah, and he didn't get a first down. It's 3rd and 1, so the clock doesn't stop, and it just keeps ticking away. And they're kind of, you know, wasting some time here, the Titan offense, trying to shuffle players in and out, and the clock's ticking. And they just stopped it.
I think they're waiting for a true decision if they're going to give them the first down on it. To us up top, it definitely looked like it was a 3rd and short.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to come out and measure it right now. It's really close. And that's what the officials are going to try to do.
Really close play here, especially with the possibility of the clock still rolling. They'll bring out and measure it. They keep this first down.
No.
We'll see what the Warriors can do defensively here. A big 3rd down and 1 for the Titans. We'll measure, it's really close. And it's just too close. Might be able to bring out the card in that one.
Jaden, it's about, it'd be about a slip of paper right there. That's how close it is to a first down.
Nobody have a note card? Got to bring out the note card.
I had to get the binoculars to look at that one because it's so far away.
So they'll keep it a 3rd and inches here. And once again, a big 3rd down opportunity for the Titans. So far today, the Titans are 6 for 11 on 3rd down conversions. And it's going to be a bunched up goal line set, I formation for the Titans. Fitzpatrick QB sneak. It'll be close. A lot of guys moving around. Papillion-La Vista South trying to direct, saying it's a first down. Warriors doing the other way.
Jaden, it's going to be really close. I had the binoculars on that one. He just kind of leaned into the line and got a big pushback from the Warrior defense. But it's going to be really, really close. No, it's 4th. No, they're going to give it to him first down.
One referee originally said it was going to be a 4th down. The other, towards the near sideline, said it'll be first. The clock still runs here for the Titans. 1:23 left to go. Fitzpatrick steps back. Long throw to the far sideline, and that'll be a defensive flag And for the second time tonight, Teddy Rizak gets caught with a pass interference call.
Well, he was open over there, and the Warriors are struggling. Medic, such a big player for this Papio offense, and it's hard to defend against a 6'4" wide receiver like that. And in some respects, that might be a good play.
And we talk about the injuries defensively, how the Warriors, the depth of the Warriors has really had to step up. Teddy Rizak, only a sophomore, although had a big presence in that first game of the year against Creighton Prep, is now having to go up against a lot of number one wide receivers that you usually see, Jack Wimmer go up against.
Yeah, that might be a good play, a penalty to get, because where the ball would have been caught would have been much farther downfield.
Empty backfield once again, little slant pass across the middle. It'll be a gain of 6, but once again, this clock continues to roll for the Titans.
They're trying to get to the line of scrimmage. They're trying to get the play in, looking towards the sidelines. A lot of time ticking off the clock right here.
We've reached under a minute left to go here in this first half. QB run up the middle, and 3 Warrior defensive linemen able to get on top of him. Sean Williams, the first one to get to him.
That was just a great play by the Warrior defense there, with them trying to make a big play, and they just stuff him out there in the pocket.
So Papio South will take their second timeout of the night. It'll be a 3rd and 6 for the Titans. Looking around Class A, what a flip of what we had earlier. Some miscommunication. Gretna is actually on top of Lincoln Pius, 14-0 currently, down at Pius the 10th. Kearney versus Millard West. Millard West started the season off ranked top 10 and started off their season with a blowout loss.
Well, they've got the state's leading rusher, and they lost that big game last week to Millard South, but we know how good Millard South is. Don't count out Millard West. They've got a great tradition there. They've got a good team. The Wildcats will be there at the end.
The Wildcats currently up 14-7 over number 8 ranked Kearney. Then a battle of OPS, a really big defensive battle at halftime. Burke down 10-7 up against Omaha North. Our last stream, we saw Omaha North in this one, and they've really been able to grow these last few weeks. So it'll be a 3rd and 6 here for the Titans. 47 seconds left to go. 3 wide out to the left. Fitzpatrick across the middle, too high. It'll be incomplete. The pass was intended for Stephen Adeyemi. He wanted a pass interference call, but Teddy Rizak able to make up for some questionable calls earlier, and it'll bring up a 4th and 6.
Yeah, look for them to really, they don't have much time left. They've only got 42 seconds left here in this half, and they're going to go for the big ball downfield.
Big thing to talk about here once again, Papillion-La Vista South with just 1 timeout. They're taking their time getting up to the line, under 10 seconds left in the play clock. 4 out wide, Paulette to the right of Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick under pressure to be sacked behind the line with 40 seconds left to go. The Westside defensive line pounces on Fitzpatrick again. Looks like Zadiska was the first one to get on him.
And that was a huge play, because now Westside gets the ball at the 44-yard line, and with 37 seconds left and with a good field goal kicker, Jaden, the Warriors could get some points here on the board at the end of the first half.
Definitely need at least probably 25 to 30 yards to even make it questionable for Tristan Alvano to be able to make a kick.
Well, we saw him do it 2 weeks ago against Omaha North. Maybe the Warriors can do it again.
37 seconds left to go. 3 out wide to the left for the Warriors, 1 out wide to the right. Colby Brown under pressure once again, dumps it off to Dominic Rizak, and he's taken down inbounds. And Freund will quickly call his final timeout of the ball game. For the first half. So 31 seconds left to go here. No timeouts. What do the Warriors call here on this next play?
Well, they've got to go downfield, and they got to, if they want to, just try to get the ball in field goal range. The wind is about 11, 12 miles an hour into the wind that they'll have to kick the ball. Not a real strong wind, but if they can get the ball down to maybe the 25, 30-yard line, they've got a chance for a field goal, about 20 more yards.
28 yards away from being able to get in relative field goal position, the same position that Tristan Ovano was able to make that kick, the 47-yarder, just 3 weeks ago. He missed his first kick of the year last year up against Papillion-La Vista. Don't want to say it was a chip shot, but a 26-yarder for Alvano is usually something pretty easy. He was not happy with himself after that one, but then made a field goal and a PAT later on in the game. So it'll be a 2nd and 8 here with 31 seconds left to go. Colby Brown trying to lead this offense down the field. Brown steps back, a lot of pressure, goes out to Grant Guyette. He'll stay in bounds, but cut back out. Will they mark him out of bounds? He's trying to make a couple spin move, and they'll say he's out of bounds, so the chains will keep moving here with 23 seconds left to go.
Warriors pass completed. Advances the ball down to the Titan 35-yard line. We have a flag on the play.
And there's a flag on the play.
Infraction on the defense. 5 yards added in the run. First down.
Once again, the Titans continuing to hurt themselves with penalties. They continue to move back, and now they're giving the Warriors, they're essentially in field goal position right now.
Yeah, that's all they wanted to do is get the ball in field goal range, and they're doing that now. Now you just got to work the sidelines.
Could possibly see a little slant route across the middle if you wanted to be able to get a quick gain and then go for the field goal. They'll go for the fade out to the outside. Carter Hogan able to make the catch. He was close to the sideline. They'll throw him out. So we'll make it a second, about 1.5 yards with 19 seconds left to go.
They've got a chance for maybe 2 more plays here and then to kick the ball, just to kind of maybe look along the sidelines and get about, maybe 6-7 seconds on the play off the clock, enable them to have some time to kick the ball here at the end of the first half.
Be a 4-wide set for the Warriors. Might want to see a little hook route, possibly from Dominic Rizak, if Brown can't find anything deep. Another fade route out to the outside will go over the head of Grant Guyette out of bounds. So 14 seconds left here. It is a 3rd down and 2. So Freund has a lot of options, but a lot to think about going into this next play.
Yeah, I think, you don't want to finish the first half without kicking a field goal. Maybe a real quick pass here to the sideline might be a good idea.
Papillion South's defense a little bit more bunched up. They have 3 safeties out near the 10 and 5-yard line. A little quick screen route out to Carter Hogan. He'll dive, just barely get out of bounds, able to stop the clock with 10 seconds left. And another first down for the Warriors. Opportunity possibly to go for one shot in the end zone here.
You bet. They got 10 seconds left, so that'll give them a chance to go to the end zone. Jaden, it's almost a replay of 2 weeks ago when they played Omaha North, and they had 6 seconds left on the clock and threw a touchdown pass here at the end of the first half.
Big play coming up here, and it looks like the Titans want to rethink their defensive set. So the Warriors, 10 seconds left to go here in the first half. Decision time now for the Warriors. Can they grab the momentum back heading into halftime? We'll see right after this on WTV Live. Big play here with 10 seconds left to go. Warriors trying to find 1, maybe 2 plays to the end zone. 4 out wide, Rizak to the right of Colby Brown. He'll motion out. Brown gonna have to retreat, use his feet into the end zone, and it's tipped around. 4 seconds left in the clock. Colby Brown had Caleb Benning and Grant Guyette both trying to do crossing routes, go back to the ball, but two Papio South defenders able to get their hands on it, and it'll bring out the kicking team for the Warriors.
Jaden, I was a little concerned on that play. He rolled out, went back to pass, rolled out, and a lot of time was ticking off the clock.
You kept seeing the little point from Colby as he was trying to go to the left. You could see two guys comparatively open into the end zone, and Brown really underthrew Grant Guyette, but Tristan Alvano will be open here for a 22-yard field goal. The kick is up and easily through, so Westside, to end off the half, adds 3 more points, and they'll head to halftime up 17-8. And a great way to get momentum going into halftime.
I'll tell you what, that's a huge play to end the first half, just to get those 3 points on the board when they only had a 6-point lead.
So we'll take a break here on WTV Live. When we get back, we'll give you more information on the in-depths of this game, give you some updates around Class A, and get you guys to the thing everybody loves, the Dunkin Trivia Question of the night. So we're getting close, about just a minute and a half away till the start of the second half here at Phelps Field. Westside able to pounce on an opportunity at the end of the first half, up 17-8. With this one, both sides have really been able to hold steady defensively. With the Titans, the one guy that haven't been able to go up against is Dominic Rizak.
Yeah, Dominic Rizak has been the story of the game in the first half for Westside. He started off this game with a 55-yard touchdown run on the opening series. And I'll tell you what, then he came back and scored a second touchdown of the game from about 10 yards out. And then he had a big 45-yard run late in the second quarter. So Dominic Rizak is the reason that Westside leads 17-8 here at halftime.
Rizak, 11 rushing attempts here on the night, 149 yards, is averaging 13.5 yards per carry, and those really big 2 touchdowns here so far in this one. The passing game is somewhat struggled. Colby Brown only 5 for 13 on the night, only 58 yards. You've seen 4 or 5 different drops of plays that really needed to be made.
Well, some of those passes that Colby has thrown have been dropped. It's not that Colby has had a bad game. It's that some of his receivers have dropped those passes, or his stats would be much better. So the passing game has not been perfect for Westside. The ground game has been very good, but they are leading in this game by the score of 17-8.
So going into this game, I mean, we really thought that the big piece of these two teams is that Westside's passing and Papillion-La's running game. Throughout this game, it's been the exact opposite. Brady Fitzpatrick, 15 for 23 on the night, 138 yards and a touchdown, only 26 total rushing yards for the Titans.
Yeah, but I'll tell you the big difference has been the receiving. When you look at Ian Medic, he's got 5 receptions for 62 yards, 12 yards per reception. He's got a touchdown pass, beautiful catch into the far corner of the end zone for their only touchdown of the game, but then they also got that 2-point conversion. I think one of the big things in this game so far, they haven't really been able to have a big rushing attack, and that's been the big difference for Papillion-La not getting a lot of rushing yards tonight.
So throughout Class A, once again, our 3 big games to watch here tonight. Don't really have a lot of top 10 games tonight just because the immensity of top 10 games that we had on Thursday night. Elkhorn South, of course, defeating and blowing out Lincoln Southwest. Then Prep, surprisingly, an underrated upset, but it was 41-7 in favor of Prep over Lincoln Southeast. And the big 1-2 matchup as Millard South was able to take down Bellevue West 42-28. Gretna currently up on Lincoln Pius at halftime, 21-0. Kearney down up against Miller West, 14-7. And then Burke once again at halftime is taking the lead up against Omaha North, 14-10. So looking at our Dunkin Trivia Question of the night, we talk about injuries here so far tonight. Of course, inside linebacker Tommy Connolly out tonight. But going into last week, he was ranked 4th in Class A in tackles heading into last week's game with 35 tackles on the season. Which other Connolly brother has broken into the top 5 tackles in a season?
Well, you'll have to know the Connolly family to get that one right. It's got to be his older brother, right?
One of the 3. One of the 3. Connolly family is a big one in Westside football.
Okay.
You have the options. Tommy's the youngest.
Give me the name of the other 3 brothers.
You got Tommy, that's the youngest.
Okay.
You got Nick, who graduated 2 years, my sophomore year, so yes, 2 years ago. You have Jack Connolly, who graduated, I believe, in 2015. And then you also have Matt Connolly, who went to Northwest Missouri State, graduated in 2014. So a lot of linebackers.
Okay.
A lot of really physical guys for the linebacking group of the Connollys. But again, hashtag Dunkin Trivia on Twitter or reply to our tweet on Westside Wired. First correct answer with the hashtag will give you a $10 gift card to Dunkin Donuts, any Omaha Metro or Council Bluffs area. Starting off the second half here, deep boot, and there'll be another illegal formation for Papillion-La Vista South.
Jaden, who comes up with these questions for the Dunkin Donuts trivia question? We've got to talk to that person.
You know, that is me. But here's I'm going to give you a funny story here, and I'm going to call somebody out that is a really good friend of mine in this industry. Although you don't always like as a Westside fan to talk about prep, one of my best friends in the industry, Tyler Reedy, over at Creighton Prep, him and Brendan Preisman last year throughout the basketball season, consistently, I'm not going to shout it out now, but consistently I would go to one single place to look up a bunch of stats and a bunch of opportunities, a bunch of things that the normal audience probably wouldn't be able to see. But Tyler, being Tyler, knowing that he knows what's getting, 5 different $10 gift cards to this kid. He looked at the same place 5 different times. So he's upping my game. He is upping my game. So we're going more abstract each week. We got to figure it out a little bit.
Okay.
It's a region. There's a lot of really good Connolly bros within this.
So we got a little rivalry going. Okay.
We're having fun with it. So second kickoff here in the second half. Caleb Benning able to receive it at about the 9. He's going to go back up the middle, but a big hit. And he's able to push it to about the 29-yard line, as that is where Westside will start off the second half.
Yeah, Westside's got good field position again. Just to get the ball out there to about the 30-yard line, that's good field position. Earlier in the game, they started past their 40-yard line. The only other time that they were down there was probably late in the first half. They started at their 20-yard line. So Westside out at the 29-yard line to start the second half here.
It'd be big to see kind of that thing that we started talking about in the pregame show. How can they set the tone? They really set the tone in that first half with that big Dominic Rizak run. What can they do here in the second half? They give it off to Rizak once again. He'll fight, and it'll be close to the first down marker. He's jabbing a little bit. Well, a couple Papillion South defenders, it looked like it was Aiden Payne trying to jab back and forth with Rizak. And that's one thing that we talked about Dominic this season. He is fearless, and he's willing to give you a big hit. Even if he's only gaining 1 yard, you are going to feel it.
Yeah, that was a good 8-yard gain. It looked like it could have gone for a lot more, but just ran out of yardage there along the sidelines.
So we have an I formation set here for the Warriors. Motion out to the right is Nielsen. And they'll hand it off to Rizak once again up the middle. He'll push for the first down. And once again, Warriors are able to continue this drive.
Yeah, I think the rushing attack kind of set the tone early, get the ground game going here, and maybe it'll open up that passing game later for Colby Brown. He has yet to really find his favorite receiver, Grant Guyette, in this game. Just a few passes in the first half.
So another first down here. I formation set, 3 out wide to the left. Nielsen on the strong side. Dominic Rizak continuing to pull 2 defenders from the Titans, and he'll gain a first down. He had about a 220-pound lineman on his back, and he was able to just push for the first down.
I'll tell you what, it's a good thing they grabbed him, because it looked like if he broke away, he would have had about 45 yards of daylight to the end zone.
We're a minute in here in the third quarter. Motion from Carter Hogan. Brown pitches it out to Rizak, trying to find an opening on the right side, is tripped up. And we'll see where they'll spot him. He's at least within a yard of the first down.
Good game there. Great start here to the second half for the Warrior offense, moving the ball on the ground, showing a lot of superb power on the line right now over this Titan defense.
Another 2nd and 2 opportunity here. Hogan once again motioning to the right. Another pitch out, and big hit from a Papillion South defender, pushed behind the line. Max Dia is able to make the tackle, and it makes the third down attempt a little bit further away.
Papillion South answered, big play there. A loss of about 4 yards on the play, and they were right there to make the tackle.
Be a 3rd and 5 here. Strong side I formation. Be a rollout to the left. Colby Brown having to retreat. He's going to throw it and throw it away just beyond the hands of Andrew Nielsen, and it'll bring up a 4th and 5. This is a situation where you can definitely go for it for Coach Freund.
Yeah, there was good pursuit there by the Papio South defense. They broke through and really put some pressure on Colby Brown. He just had to throw it away. Otherwise, it would have been a huge loss for the Warriors, and it looks like they're going to go for it.
4th and 5 here for the Warriors. Freund getting dicey here. A wide open receiver on the far side. Nobody going against him. They're still able to find the play, but they'll punt it away. And the ball will go in, not quite into the end zone. Will they call it a touchback? No, it's down at the 1. Grant Guyette falls on it about the half-yard line, and the Titans are pushed way back.
Great punt there by Marty Mormino. I tell you what, that ball just bounced there about the 1 yard line, and that proved to be a big punt right there down to the 1.
It was actually a pooch punt from Colby Brown.
Wow.
But
Colby Brown.
But the thing to see there that not many people might have saw, you had Teddy Rizak wide open on the near sideline. You had him trying jumping around to say that he's open. But the Titans are deep in their own end zone. Fitzpatrick, little floater, and it'll go incomplete, but there'll be a flag.
Fitzpatrick's pass falls incomplete. We have a flag on the play.
And it looks like it'll be against Papio South in the backfield. Maybe a hold.
That could be.
No, a legal receiver.
So they won't. There was no holding call in the end zone, so they're not going to call it a safety. But if you're doing a half yard to the end zone, it's about 2 inches.
Yep. Yeah, ineligible receiver downfield was the call.
So the Titans even more pushback in near their own end zone. We'll see if Westside might want to bring a blitz here to see about a safety. Westside's red shield loud in this one here on this 2nd and 10. A lot of push at the line, and it's a safety. Westside defense makes the stop and puts 2 more points on the board. What a drive and defensive stop there by the Warriors.
Great pressure by the Warrior defense to get into the end zone. And I'll tell you what, Papio South didn't have a chance. That safety was deep into the end zone, maybe 3 or 4 yards. The Titans didn't have a chance. And now the Warriors pick up 2 points, and they'll get the ball right back.
Sean Williams was the first one to get into the backfield, but that was 3 or 4 different Warrior defensive ends just piling in there. I mean, that offensive line for the Papillion-La Vista South looked entirely off guard. They were being pushed back and pancaked like no other.
Well, that little pooch kick by Colby Brown really pays off. You know, you get the ball down to the 1 yard line, and then you get a safety. I go, those are big points right there. And the big factor right now is Westside gets the ball back because Papio South has to either kick off or punt the ball away right now from the 20.
And I mean, that could be a really big thing for momentum too, especially how hyped that sideline was after that play. A big touchdown drive here, I'm not going to say would throw this game out of reach, but it would definitely really push to the Warriors' favor.
Yeah, 11-point lead now. Now they got to get 2 scores. That's a big, huge boost for the Warriors.
So they'll pooch it away at the 20-yard line. There's 3 Warriors back deep. Dominic Rizak, Caleb Benning. It looks like Carter Hogan is the 3rd. Carlson, pretty good kick there. It'll go to Rizak at the 27. He'll take it across the middle. Big wide open across. He's going back to the outside. He'll be stuffed up and taken down to the Papio South 45. There'll be another flag on the play. Looked like it might have been a little bit of unnecessary roughness on the Warriors in the back end. But once again, Westside in great field position, barring a flag here.
Yeah, they'll get that ball out to about the 44-yard line of Papio. A safety like that, you get great field position. That's just great momentum right now for the Warriors coming out here in the second half. Kind of a sluggish start, and then they get that big pooch kick, and then you've got 2 points on the board, and now you've got a chance to get on the board again with only 44 yards to go.
They're still waiting on the flag here. So they'll move the Warriors back.
personal foul on the receiving team. 15 yards, first down.
So it looks like it wasn't unnecessary roughness. Two guys, we saw a big fall at the end of that play after the play was done, so it'll bring the Warriors back 15 yards, so they'll be back in their own territory here. A little bit more of a bunched up set here on first down for the Warriors. Colby Brown, a little slant pass across the middle to Grant Guyette. He's trying to get stiff arm, and he'll gain about 11.
Yeah, I think one of the game plans for the second half for the Warriors is probably to get the ball to Guyette. They were unable to do that a lot in the first half, and that's their big play receiver, and that's the first pass of the second half to him.
So they'll spread it out here with an I formation, and they'll hand it off to Rizak. Cuts back out to the outside, waiting for a couple blockers. Will continually push a couple defensive ends, and he'll make it an 8-yard gain.
I'll tell you what, Dominic Rizak carried about 4 Titan defenders about 5 yards there, and it gets him all the way down to the 39-yard line of Papio South.
So it'll make it a 2nd and 2. And once again, 2 out wide to the right, 1 to the near sideline for the Warriors. I formation to the strong side. They'll give it off to Rizak, and he is stuffed. And the ball is out. There's a fumble. We'll see who it goes to. It looks like Papio South might be on it. Still waiting for an official call. And the Titans have it.
Well,
Papillion-La Vista South, for the first time this season, Dominic Rizak is punched out on a close second down play, and they'll take over.
the Warriors' first turnover of the game. Let's see how they respond here. The momentum shifts to Papio South here at the start of the second half.
So let's see what the Titans can do here. We talked so much about momentum here in this game. We talked so much more about momentum in sports. Well, the Titans need a big drive here. Fitzpatrick back to pass. Been able to get around one defender, trying to go to the outside. Stiff arms another, and will take it himself and will gain 5. And we pushed out at about the 48-yard line. Flags all over the field.
Yeah, it looks like it might be a late hit deep into the Papio bench over there, and that's where the flags went up. It looks like it's probably going to go against the Warriors here.
Westside, so far in this game, 50 yards of penalties. That'll be another late hit, like you said, so add another 15 onto that one. 65 total penalty yards for the Warriors, only 25 for the Titans.
Yeah, 2 big penalties here to start the second half for the Warriors. You don't want to hurt yourselves and beat yourselves with penalties, but that's what the Warriors are doing here with 2 big penalties on the last 2 series.
Titans down to the 39. Once again, trying to get a big drive here to start the second half. Pass out to the inner sideline, and a couple hits and out of bounds. It was number 14, Robert Harper on the catch, and he's thrown out of bounds. We had second and about 5.
Papio South just moving the ball along the sidelines. They got a great passing game. Their running game hasn't been that good tonight, but the passing game has looked really impressive.
3 out wide to the left for the Titans. Westside trying to defensively shift. It'll be a pitch out to Quillette. He tries to go back to the near side. Cole Haberman beasting through that offensive line, able to make the play in the backfield, and it'll make it a little bit longer of a third down play for the Titans.
Those guys in the trenches for Westside really plugged up the hole, got some penetration over the right side, and Papio South couldn't do anything on that play, and that brings up a key third down play here.
Papio South, 7 of 13 on third down conversions. This is a place to where you could be in 4-down territory for Papio South as well. Fitzpatrick steps back. A lot of pressure coming towards him. Rolling out to the right. Long floating pass, and it'll go out of bounds. Out of the reach of Steven Adeyemi, and it'll bring up a 4th and 4. So once again, decision time now for Coach Tim Clevenger.
Yeah, I think they're going to go for it here, about 4th and 4. I don't know how long their kicker is, how strong he is, but when you're down by 2 scores. It looks like they're going to go for it here.
4th down conversions today. Both teams are 0-1. Titans trying to make something different here this 4th and 4. 2 out wide to the left, 1 out wide to the right. A lot of pressure coming here with the blitz. Fitzpatrick trying to roll out, cuts back inside, and a big hit. He stays on his feet. It does not look like he got it. Fitzpatrick was blown up by Jamez Ross, the corner coming in. And Westside will take over on downs after the second 4th down stop of the night.
Well, that was a key series, key play right there for the Warrior defense to stop that, Titan offense that was kind of trying to show some life here, passing the ball downfield. And now Westside just countered and stuffed him, and that's a big play by the Warrior defense to flip it right here.
Especially after Papillion South was able to get the first turnover of the night, bring it back to him. And a big defensive stop to really help out this team's offense. Run up the middle. Rizak trying to bounce to the outside. Gets a couple holes and able to gain 8 on the play. But Rizak able to once again make something out of nothing. Had to push away 2 different defenders on that play and to bring up a 2nd and 2.
He's really finding the yardage tonight. He's got some good blocks up front, and he's getting some extra yardage just by his power and his speed tonight.
They'll give it to Rizak once again, trying to go about the middle. Gets a hole, getting it back to the outside, trying to get into open space, and just taken down at the 30-yard line. Oh my goodness, that one was close.
I'll tell you what, there was about 2 hands who got on him at the end. It looked like he might go about 60 yards for a touchdown, but they saved it right there for Papillion South.
The chain crew's trying to adjust here. Westside's trying to go quickly. Still trying to look to the sideline. Coach Freund's trying to call a play to Colby Brown. 15 seconds left here on the play clock. Avery Donnellinger now in for Teddy Rizak on the far sideline. 2 out wide to the right, 1 to the left, and Grant Guyette. Brown steps back, has to roll out to the near sideline. Long pass will go out of bounds, and Colby Brown smartly just throws that one way out of here.
Yeah, there was nowhere to go on that one. The Titans really covered all the receivers really well, and there was just nowhere to go but throw the ball out of bounds, and just a smart play right there by Colby Brown.
They had 2 different Papillion South defenders trying to get into the back of the play for the Warriors. It was Caden Sick really bringing on the pressure, almost able to take down Colby Brown, but it'll be a 2nd and 10 here at the 30-yard line. Rizak able to break a couple holes, get back to the middle of the field, and will dive for a 1st down. The Warriors are just continuing to move the chains here on this drive.
Rizak has just been a workhorse on this offense tonight. He just has powered his way through this Titan defense all evening.
Strong side eye here once again for the Warriors. Colby Brown looking for a possible audible here. Still 20 seconds left in the play clock. A little bit of movement, and there was early movement there. It looked like a couple Westside offensive linemen jumped a little bit.
Jaden, I think the Westside coaches have found a weakness over there on that right side of the Titan defense. They've really worked the ball over there with a lot of success over that right side of the Warrior offensive line. They've really found some yardage there.
Especially starting earlier in the game, we saw a lot of I formations with Nielsen not in the backfield, especially here in the second half. It looks like Coach Freund has really relied on Nielsen's ability to block and get open holes for Rizak. Be a 1st and 15. Crossing route across the middle. Be incomplete to Grant Guyette. It's a late hit on Colby Brown. There's a flag on the play. We'll see what it is.
Yeah, it's on Papillion South. That it's a big boost for Westside on this drive.
Still looking for the official call. It looks like it was a late hit.
Working the passer on the defense. That's half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
So once again, Papillion-La Vista South, although only going into this play had 25 penalty yards, but it's been big ones that have allowed the Warriors to get in prime and even primer right now field position.
Well, I think the Warriors are going to go for what has been working for them this entire drive, and that's Dominic Rizak, and we're going to get a timeout on the field here.
So Papillion-La Vista South and Coach Tim Clemenger want to take a timeout here. 5:13 left to go here in this third quarter, and the Warriors on the doorstep of really taking control in this one. So before we get to this next play, Ross, we'll give you the opportunity here to look at our Dunkin Trivia Question of the game. The winner here tonight is a Westside teacher. It's a good one to see. So once again, inside linebacker Tommy Connolly ranked 4th in Class A going into last week in tackles with 35 tackles on the season. Which other Connolly brother has broken into the top 5 in tackles in a season? We talk so much about the Rizaks. We talk a lot about the Connollys as well.
I say it's the oldest brother who's got the record. Am I right?
You are correct.
All right, I finally got one.
Matt Connolly graduated in 2014, was a Nebraska All-Stater as a linebacker, went to Northwest Missouri State. Little float play out to the outside. Touchdown Warriors! Grant Guyette in the corner, and Westside is now up 3 scores.
Just a great play right there, wide open into the near corner of the end zone. Grant Guyette, just a great catch. That's his 5th touchdown catch of the season. Coming into this game, he was the leading receiver in Class A, and you can see why on a play like that. Great throw by Colby Brown to put Westside up again.
And Guyette comparatively was quiet here tonight. Only 2 receptions for 31 yards, but a big play right there. And Westside with the PAT will be up 19. And the kick is up and good. So we've seen a lot of rushing tonight from Dominic Rizak. We see the passing attack. Once again, the connection from Grant Guyette and Colby Brown is there as always. And the Warriors are up 26-8 with 5:09 left to go. We'll be back on WTV Live.
It's a big moment with a lot of emotions when you hand the keys over to a new driver. We want you to buckle up, slow down, and please no texting while driving. Our family cares about your family, and your safety is our #1 priority. At Dingman's, we'd rather be the best than apologize for anything less. Visit us at one of our 4 convenient locations or dingmans.com.
Back here, a 10-yard touchdown pass to Grant Guyette as the Warriors up 26-8 here with 5:09 left to go. Alvano's kick once again goes to the back of the end zone. I mean, you talk about it so much. If I'm on the kick return team for Papillion South, really any time up against Tristan Alvano, I got to be bored.
You know, I got to think, colleges look for kickers that can kick the ball out of the end zone. And the way that Tristan has done it this season, you got to think there's got to be some college coach out there that's looking for a kicker and has got to have some interest in Tristan to do that.
Yeah, 1st and 10 here for the Titans. Desperately need some kind of scoring drive here, and that's not the way to do it. 2 Westside defenders on Quillette. Colt Haberman, the first one to get to him.
You know, what I've been impressed with tonight, Jaden, is how well the Warriors have played considering they've had 5 players with injuries tonight, and the guys that have come and stepped up and played in this game and kept it very strong for the Warriors to have this type of game.
Defensively, it's been really big for the Warriors tonight. Blitz coming here. A little slant right out to the outside. Medic's able to make the play and push himself over to about the 25-yard line. Excuse me, that's going to be Mitchell Ben Orden.
Yeah, good pressure there by Westside. They blitzed in there. Papio South had to get rid of the ball real quick, was able to get the ball out to the flat, and now it's a 3rd down play with 7 to go.
We've seen multiple big drives here in the second half and 1 or 2 in the first half to where Papio South was continually pushing down the field but not able to convert in those big 3rd downs. 3rd and 7 here. Fitzpatrick, floater, and the catch will be able to be made. A flag was thrown down. It looks like Teddy Rezag might have had a little bit of too much of a grab on Medic.
Yeah, I think Medic made a great catch on that play, but Rezag just really tried to get him out of the play, and they were able to make the catch and to make the penalty, and now they're out the ball out to about the 39-yard line.
So the chain's still not moved, not sure why. They're still trying to set the ball out. A lot of confusion down on the field. So
Now
the penalty will be declined, so Medic able to get a couple more yards on his resume, and the Titans down to 39.
And the train crew is moving quick just to get those chains down.
Fitzpatrick gives it off to Quillette, going out to the outside, and once again, the Westside defensive line has just been stuffing and pushing through into the backfield. Kurt Kubrich on the tackle.
Yeah, they've got great penetration tonight, and they really pushed that offensive line back, and that was a big play right there by the Warrior defense, and they've got a 2-yard loss on that one.
So it'll be a 2nd and 10 there. Will they match up maybe a 1.5 yards back? A big pass play here, flag on the field, but catch able to be made down the sideline and in for the score. Papillion-La Vista South, barring the flag, has possibly answered back. Well, it looks like Papillion-La Vista South players are coming back.
Yeah, you can see the players are still at midfield discussing the situation, and here's the call, and it's on Papio South, so we're going to bring this one back. Big break for the Warriors right there, because that was a great pass, great catch, and Papio South could have been right back into this game. That'll bring the ball way back here, and they're going to mark it off all the way back to the 32-yard line, and that's where Papio South will be. 2nd down and about 17 yards to go.
So once again, Papio South, the flags continue to hurt them. So far today, with that penalty, 45 penalty yards for the Titans. And it's not only hurt them offensively, but it's given really big opportunities for the Warriors offensively as well. Fitzpatrick back, another rush to the outside, flipped and tipped, and multiple flags come down in the play. It looks like there might have been a holding call. Kurt Kubrich was trying to come on the near sideline, and looks like he was held by 2 different offensive linemen for the Titans.
It's a holding call. That'll put the ball back even farther towards the goal line, and that'll be now about 27 yards to go for a 1st down.
I remember last year, probably one of the longest plays that I've personally ever seen. It was a 3rd and 43 after 2 different holding calls, and once again, another fumble the play before.
Did they make the first down?
They did not. Sadly.
Okay. That's hurting yourself.
So it seems like there might have been setting penalties there. It'll stay at a 3rd and 17 for the Titans. And once again, the Warriors needing a big 3rd down stop. R.J. Gunderson could possibly see in the blitz on the far side. He comes through. Cole Haberman is able to get the sack. Pressure from Gunderson, and Haberman brings Fitzpatrick down way far in the backfield. And it'll be punting time for the Titans.
Looked like his older brother right there, Cade, and I'll tell you what, he broke through, made a great play. I think there's somebody at Northern Illinois who's probably watching this game on the stream who's pretty happy about that play.
So now it'll be a 4th and 29 for the Titans. And a big connection that I think we've talked about a lot offensively for the Warriors has been the connection between Colby Brown and Grant Guyette. The one that I think has been not noticed enough for this team is the connection between Sean Williams and Cole Haberman. The two defensive ends. Cole was the defensive end last year, along with we saw a little bit of Cade, we saw a little bit of Will Hurtado last year, and Ryan Zadiska. But Sean Williams is really his first year to be a starter for this defensive line. And the way they've clicked, they're best friends. They hang out all the time, and they encourage each other so much. And they're both guys that I think we talked a lot of this like Ben Radisha last year. Crazy, but good in that mention of crazy. They want to hit. They want to get in the backfield. They love being able to hit the quarterback, and they're doing a really good job here.
Team chemistry is so important on a team, and when you have two guys who really work well together, play well together. When you've got that, that's a winning combination, and the Warriors have it again this year.
So Caleb Benning has his feet just about the Westside 41. And once again, the Titans and Aiden Carlson are going to punt it away. This one gets out to about the 45. Benning picks it up, and he's tripped up. A little bit of a quick jump play, and the Warriors, once again, really good field position. They're down at the Titans 44.
Benning, no fear there. He took that ball in some traffic and made some yardage out of it. That's what you like on a punt returner who can field the ball and get some yardage for you in the game.
After that little tackle, that trip up, I was a little worried. I'm not going to lie. It seemed like he was maybe a little bit off balance after that trip, but seems like he's just fine. So the Warriors, once again, will come out here. And now a change for the Warriors at quarterback. Backup sophomore Anthony Rizak is in. So Rizak hands it off to Rizak. Dominic up the middle for a gain of 6. Updates around Class A as well here tonight. Gretna has blown it open up against Lincoln Pius, 30-7 in the third quarter down there. Millard West is about to take down their first top 10 opponent of the year, up 37-7 over Kearney. And Burke has continued to push their lead up 21-10 over Omaha North. 2nd and 5 here for the Warriors. Low snap. Rizak going to take it himself. Anthony going to bring it out to the 32. And a couple flags come down. It looked like there might have been a couple flags in the defense for the Titans.
Is this going to be the Rizak show the rest of the game? Because they're all over the place tonight.
We talked about that against Prep. You had Teddy, who was going in as the defensive back, had 2 pick sixes in that game. Then Dominic Rizak had a touchdown of his own. And then now Anthony here with 1:06 left to go here in the third quarter. Up 18. Might have fumbled the ball on that play. There's still a flag down on the field. Papio South is signaling that they have the ball. There's a couple discussions on the field. There are 2 flags laying down. I thought there might have even been somewhat of a targeting call there, because we saw it looks like the safety for Papio South maybe lead too much with his head. It was number 25, Jimmy Rosenthal, the strong safety coming in. But we'll see what they want to call it here.
Big conference by the officials there at about the 28-yard line. And it looks like we'll get a ruling right here from the official.
Personal contact on White. By rule, that'll be the spot of the fumble. First down, Black.
So it will be. So they're 15 yards for the Warriors with the fumble. So Anthony Rizak takes it himself. They'll keep Anthony in the ball game. But he took a big hit there.
But if it was an illegal hit and it may have caused the fumble, I just have a question. Why does that happen?
Why the illegal hit causes the fumble or why that's allowed?
Why that's allowed?
I think going forward, I mean, you have that 15-yard penalty. Would have to go to the NSAA rule book to see what is the call on that. There's no specific targeting call in NSAA Class A football, but there are, like they said there, head contact. We'll see if they keep Anthony Rizak in the game. They're up 18. That is a definite 3 scores, and Papio South has really struggled in offense to get something going. They've only had 2 3-and-outs on the night. However, it's been hard for them to get 3 or 4 first downs and put a drive together. So Anthony will give it off to Dominic. Dominic, couple of broken tackles into the end zone. Goodness gracious, Dominic Rizak, a man among boys. 3 broken tackles into the end zone. Rizak, 3 touchdowns on the night.
This has been like a highlight film for Dominic Rizak. This has been one of the most impressive games we've seen from him, and this season especially. He has had a breakout game tonight. Just a career night for him here tonight.
I mean, Rizak, you saw going to there, he definitely had the opportunity to break that first one, but then it just went bam, bam, bam. Rolled over 3 different guys to get into the end zone, and that's called some kind of strength. The PAT is good from Tristan Alvano. The Warriors have blown this one open here with 1 minute left to go here in the third quarter. Westside up 33-8. We'll take a quick break here. Papio South desperately needing to get back to this one. Dominic Rizak, 22 attempts, 241 yards, averaging 11 yards a carry, and that makes it his 3rd touchdown of the night.
Yeah, and those stats aren't updated to the point right now. He's got more than that. He's just had an unbelievable night running the ball here. It's really been a showcase for the senior who is headed to the Air Force Academy.
Alvano once again to the back of the end zone. It's becoming a regular occurrence. But yeah, just updated now, 23 attempts, 254 yards on that 13-yard carry. Still averaging 11 yards a carry, 3 touchdowns.
I'll tell you what.
I think we have our running for player of the game tonight. just want to point that out there.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. It's been a big night for the Rizak family, and Dominic's just a great kid, and we're glad to see it for him, and he's really just having one of his greatest nights of his high school career here tonight.
So we'll hand it off to Claudette once again. He'll gain about 3 yards for Papio South. Quillette. Another flag on the play. We'll see what the call is.
Rushes up the middle to the Titan 25. We got a flag on the play.
So we'll see if Papillion-La Vista South wants to maybe start putting in their backups here. I mean, it's still the third quarter, but I mean, we've seen the Warriors bring in Anthony Rizak. We don't have any specific reason to see that Colby might be hurt. There's nobody on the bench, nobody in the tent. So we might see Anthony Rizak for the rest of this ball game, as this one is a penalty on the Warriors.
What we're looking at now tonight, Jaden, might be a record-breaking night that put Dominic in the record books if he stays in this game, and it's still the third quarter.
It'll be a big night for Dominic Rizak. Warriors trying to give a big stop here defensively. Quillette handed off, going to gain 4. They'll bring up a 2nd and 6.
Warrior defense can't let up here. Even though the game is still in the third quarter, you don't want Papillion-La Vista South to get back in this game with a quick touchdown. Just try to not give up the big play here in the third quarter.
Empty backfield here for Fitzpatrick. Might want to go long here. Zone coverage here for the Warriors. Fitzpatrick going to take it himself. He'll gain about 3 yards, and he'll bring it up to a third, about 2.5.
Good pressure there by Westside. He was able, didn't see any receivers out there that were open, and just decided to tuck it under his arm and get what he could. And he's about 2 yards short of a first down right now, and there's a timeout on the field.
It's been a night of Rizaks for Westside. The Warriors up 33-8 as we head to the fourth quarter. And before we head to break, we'll give you a quick glimpse of Hey Baby here at Fells Field. Action here, 3rd and 2 for the Titans. Fitzpatrick going to take it himself, trying to maneuver through. It'll be close. The line to gain was about the 49.5. It looks like he got it, and they'll give it to him. That's a first down for the Titans here as we head to the start of this fourth quarter.
Well, Jaden, these next 12 minutes, the Warriors just got to not let this game get away. Just try to hold this Papio South offense, not get any big plays for them in this fourth quarter so they can get back in it.
Fitzpatrick steps back, long pass, and way over the head of Medic. We've seen a lot of that Medic and Rizak, Anthony Rizak. Goodness gracious, I cannot go back between all the different Rizaks here tonight. But Anthony Rizak at the defensive back position going up against Medic tonight. We've seen a lot of those two going back and forth.
I'll tell you what, the Warriors have really played good defense here in this second half, holding the Titans to just no score here in the second half. That only one happened in the second quarter, so the Warriors have done really good job defensively here in this second half.
Little pitch out to Quillette. He's trying to get to the outside. Big stiff right there by Caleb Benning. That's the third one we've seen here tonight to where Benning has just lowered the shoulder, and it looks like Quillette is hurt.
Yeah, he really stuffed him there. That was a tough hit. And the Titans are starting to feel it here in the fourth quarter.
At least that's got to take the breath out of you. It looks like we have a lineman down on the field for Papio South as well. But we'll take a quick break here on WTV Live for the officials timeout. When we come back, Papio South with a 3rd and 7.
7 here. Fitzpatrick across the middle and is broken up. R.J. Gunderson, the linebacker, able to tip that one incomplete. It'll be another 4th down here for the Titans.
Warriors got an opportunity to stop him here at about midfield and at the ball at the 48-yard line, and are going to punt it away to Westside. Warriors are standing back at about the 12-yard line. The Titans are in punt formation. High snap. He runs out to the far side. Little soccer kick, and that's going to head towards the far sidelines. And that ball is going to be marked probably somewhere between the 30 and the 40-yard line.
And dropped down right at the sidelines around the 21-22, but not quite sure where they're going to put it. The Warriors here tonight have consistently been able to push through with a really big drive. Dominic Rizak has just been the big piece of this offense with his 254 yards. Passing-wise, only 81 yards for Colby Brown. Does have a touchdown to Grant Guyette. Guyette, although started off really slow in that first half, has 42 yards on the night, as well as Carter Hogan has the other 37.
It's been a good balance for Westside tonight. Of course, the running game has been huge, but it always helps to have that passing too, and the Warriors will try to get some more points on the board here in the 4th quarter.
I formation, Colby Brown back into the game for Anthony Rizak. Dominic goes out and gains about 5 yards to bring up a 2nd and 5.
The Warriors still keeping it on the ground here, letting that clock tick away. Just trying to get out of here with a victory. Very impressive tonight, and just try to get this game over with a solid win.
A lot of time ticking off the clock here. We still do have a lot left here in this 4th quarter with the Warriors up now by 25 points. Just need to keep running the ball. We'll hand it off to Rizak once again. He'll keep working around in the pile. Looks like he gained about 2.
Yeah, that'll bring up a short yardage situation here for Westside. And you know who you're going to try to give the ball to at this situation, Rizak. And again, this has been just his night, and there's no reason not to give him the ball again.
Could possibly see some backups coming in here on the next drive or two for the Warriors. Maybe seeing some more depth that this team has. Colby Brown, long pass, almost intercepted, but just too high of the defender for Papillion South. Goes out of bounds. It'll bring up a 4th and 3.
Brings up 4th and 3.
And there comes the punting team out onto the field. You know, you run some time off the clock there, Jaden. That's what you want to do. And now we're under 10 minutes to play in this game. And that's just kind of the strategy you want right now. You don't want to get anybody hurt and just want to run as much time off the clock as you can.
Quillette, who's limping a little bit onto the field after taking a big hit last drive from Caleb Benning, is back deep for the Titans, is trying to signal to the sideline. He's trying to get back off the field, and the Titans had too many men on the field.
Good ball. Delay game. Offense, 5-yard.
And it was delay of the game for Westside, and that pushes the ball back about 5 yards, and now they'll put the ball down at the 27-yard line of Westside.
That could have been big there if Westside was able to bring off that snap. The Titans had 12 people on the field. They just had a linebacker just run off to allow Quillette to come back in. But that could have been another 1st down and been a devastating loss for the Titans. This one from Mormino. Long punt will go way out of bounds. And the Titans will definitely start the next drive within Westside territory. We'll take a quick break here on WTV Live. When we come back, Warriors trying to continue their lead up 33-8.
here at Phelps Field. Want to apologize for some technical issues. Our Wi-Fi connection, once again, has been an issue for us a lot throughout this season and last season, but able to bring it back in. Want to update our scoreboard real quick. It's currently a 2nd and 10 for Papio South. And they added a touchdown and a 2-point conversion as they'll go here. Fitzpatrick out to Quillette, is back behind him, and it'll be an incomplete pass. So currently, with 5:59 left to go here in this fourth quarter, Westside leads by 18, but Papio South once again is on the doorstep of coming back in this one. It'll be a 3rd and 10 for the Titans. Titans have 2 more timeouts left to go here in this fourth quarter. Fitzpatrick rolling out to the right. Throw to the corner. Quillette unable to make the play. Was trying to have a comeback route up against Isaac Richard, but it fell out of his hands.
Jaden, I've got some scores to pass along. Gretna defeated Lincoln Pius X by the score of 30-7. It was Millard West 37-14 over Kearney. Omaha North lost to Burke by the score of 21-10.
So a couple pretty big top 10 matchups. Another top 10 team here in the Warriors, still up by a good amount and in great position to keep themselves with a win here, but Papio South trying to make this one interesting. The 4th and 10 here with the field goal from Carlson is up, and it's good. So Papio South tacks on 3 more, and they make this game a little bit closer. It's now a 2-score ball game. It's 33-19 in favor of the Warriors.
Jaden, this game has kind of changed here in the last few minutes. 2 quick touchdowns by Papio South has made this a 2-touchdown ball game. And I'll tell you what, there's some concern along the west side sidelines about this. It looked like they might be sending in some reserves, some backups, but Papio South has come back and made this a ball game here with just under 6 minutes to go in the game, down by 14 points.
Yeah, what you guys did miss, want to apologize once again. Still having some Wi-Fi issues. Our hotspot randomly went out just about a couple moments ago when you guys probably started getting some buffering back into here and back into it. But the Titans, as we missed, had 2 30-yard plays, a big passing play across the middle. Was able to bring in a touchdown from Medic. The Titans then went for the onside kick. It did not go fully 10 yards. However, the Warriors, one of the 2 men up front, pounced on it and ended up losing the ball. So the Titans ended up getting the ball back. 2 more passing plays later. Another run into almost to the end zone, but then a block there as we just saw. And then a field goal. And now the Titans are going to look for another onside kick here, trying to get themselves back in this ball game. 14-point ball game. Carlson with the onside kick. High bounce, bouncing around, and the Warriors look like they were able to pounce on it. It bounced off the leg of Andrew Nielsen. Another Warrior was able to get it, and it looks like
the Warriors recovered it, and they've got the ball at about the 44-yard line. But I'll tell you what, there was a little drama there under the pile. The Westside player landed on the ball, but there were probably about 5 white shirts that landed on the ball carrier too. And we've got the ball back now at the 44-yard line of Westside. Back in business. They just want to run that clock out right now with under 6 minutes to go in the game.
Jamie Kim was the one that is able to fall on it, and now the Warriors are definitely in a position to keep their offense rolling. Looks like Anthony Rizak able to take the option play and take a gain of about 9.5 yards. It'll be a 2nd and short.
Good running play there. Get some yardage down to about within 1 yard of a first down marker. And that clock just keeps ticking.
Anthony Anthony Rizak once again in this game. He'll give it off to his brother, Dominic. He'll get bounced to the outside, into open space, down the sideline. Breaks the tackle into the end zone. Dominic Rizak, his 4th touchdown of the night. The Warriors add on to the lead once again. And goodness gracious, Dominic Rizak, we talked about it before. He is taking control of this Westside offense.
And he just went over the 300-yard mark for the game. A 48-yard touchdown run there puts him over 300 yards for the night. Just a big night for Dominic Rizak. He's having a career night here against Papillion South. His 4th touchdown of the game and puts the Warriors up 39-19.
Tristan Alvano with the PAT. And it is good. So the Warriors and Dominic Rizak, a 60-yard run, and it's his 4th touchdown of the night. We got to be checking to see if he is nearing any kind of school records tonight in rushing yards. But the Warriors add on once again, and they're up 3 scores with 5:09 left to go here in the 4th quarter. Yard run from Dominic Rizak has the Warriors up 40-19 and in prime position to be able to put this one away. Tristan Alvano boots it through the back of the end zone once again, and the Titans will start at their own 20.
Jaden, here's an interesting fact on Dominic Rizak tonight. He has more yards tonight than he did in his first 3 ball games. He had 298 yards, and he's already over 300 yards in this game tonight. So he has doubled his total yardage for the season.
And we knew Dominic had some big plays in those first 3 games overall. I mean, he was a big factor, but he really wasn't that explosive thing that we've seen here tonight that we really saw going into this year. They've really had to rely a lot more on their passing game. Tonight, all the passing game hasn't been horrible. Dominic has just been blowing open into holes, going through and through and through multiple Papillion-La Vista South defenders, and really just taking this offense on his back and carrying him to this win.
Yeah, he's shown explosive speed, but as you mentioned, he has gotten so much extra yardage by just carrying defenders down the field an extra 5 or 6 yards tonight. Just a real career night for Dominic Rizak, the senior for Westside.
4 out wide, little fumbled snap, and a big hit there. 3 Warrior defenders able to get on the new quarterback. And Thomas Terrell is coming into this game only having 1 play attempt in the first 3 games for Papillion South. Did not play at the quarterback position in that play. It's the first time the Titans have either not been in reach in any kind of games. All the games this season, they've been so close. Tonight, this one's about wrapped up.
Yeah, I'd say they've decided to put their backups in. They know with a 21-point margin that it's going to be really hard just to come back.
Terrell across the middle, picked off. Ty Kiefer into the end zone. Touchdown Warriors. Pick 6. And Westside puts another stamp on this one. The defense shows out on this play.
That's the 3rd time this season that this Warrior defense has picked off a pass and returned it all the way for a touchdown. Just a great job by the Warrior defense to pick up that coverage, make the play, and go into the end zone for the touchdown. And this one you can pretty much say is over tonight.
Want to check back on that play. It was Jackson McIntyre actually on the pick 6. But the Warriors, with the PAT here, are up 47-19, and this is the most offense we've seen from this team all season.
Well, it looked like it might be a close game when it was 34-19, but I'll tell you what, they have come back and really put the stamp on this one for a W.
PAT is up and good. The Warriors get a big play on defense. Jackson McIntyre with the pick six. They're up 47-19 as we head to the break before we get to the closing moments of this game. Westside up 47-19 here with 3:44 left to go. And the good thing for the Warriors here, this has really been the only time this season that we've seen a blowout win for the Warriors.
Well, they've really put it all together tonight. I'll tell you what.
Warrior kickoff through the end zone yet again. Ball on the 20.
There's 3:49 left here in the game, and Westside leads 47-19. Papillion South takes over the ball at the 20-yard line. And it's a handoff over the right side for about 8 yards out to the 28-yard line. And it'll bring up second down. Again, Westside's Dominic Rizak has been the story tonight here at Phelps Stadium. He has scored 4 touchdowns. He has rushed for over 300 yards in this game. And he has just been tremendous tonight for the Warrior offense. It's a handoff over the left side for about a 4-yard gain. That'll bring up second down and 2 for the Titans. And that'll bring up a first down at the 30-yard line. The clock continues to go under 3 minutes right now.
So this one's just about wrapped up for the Warriors. We'll see what the Titans can maybe bring out a drive before they end this one. But look at this win overall, especially last week. We talked about how just really slow that team was that we saw last week for the Warriors up against Papillion-La Vista. It was a game that we thought the Warriors would blow out somewhat like they have tonight. They have that slow week. They have a lot of injuries. They have a lot of adversity going into this game. They have a team that has been close to get up against top 10 teams this season. They have a team that really thinks they might have a chance to be an underdog, and they prove a big statement in this win.
Well, a huge statement, especially for Dominic Rizak. We knew he was a great runner, all-state running back, but he really put on a show tonight, one that he will remember, his family will remember, Westside fans will remember on a night in September of 2021 that he went over the 300-yard mark. You just don't see that for many high school running backs, that many yards in a football game, and he did that tonight, and just an impressive showing by Dominic Rizak, and I'm sure the people in Colorado Springs at the Air Force Academy are smiling tonight when they see the stats on this game.
A fumble there, big hit. Lyman's trying to go in and get it. He's trying to move it around, and it will be down about the 25-yard line, trying to see who that is. Get your read to it. It looks like it was number 16, Thomas Tejrel, the quarterback, trying to pounce back onto it.
He did a good job. He ended up getting a gain of about 20 yards, just a heads-up play.
So Kylan Connor and Thomas Tejrel, the backups, coming into this one, making two really big plays, and they're really starting to drive here for the Titans. So currently, as of right now, if this is the last drive that we see here today, the Westside record for most rushing yards in a single game, Collins Okafor versus North Platte in 2007.
Yeah, Collins Okafor.
Fumble here as play on the ground, but looking at that play against North Platte in 2007, Dominic Rizak tonight has 308 rushing yards. Collins Okafor in 2007, it's unofficial, we're calling it unofficial for now, 307.
Well, Collins Okafor was a Nebraska recruit, ended up going down to Lincoln, very highly recruited, the top rusher back in those days for Westside in the state of Nebraska. He had a great career here at Westside, one of the great running backs, and if that holds true, those stats, that's a great record to have.
It's another run there from Kylan Connor. We're under 40 seconds left to play here in this fourth quarter. One, maybe two more plays for the Titans before this one is wrapped up. Another run up the middle to Connor. But again, as of right now, this effort here tonight from Dominic Rizak of 308 yards, still unofficial at the moment, is a Westside school record.
Well, you saw it here tonight, and believe me, he earned every yard of it tonight. Just a great performance by Dominic. He really showed his speed tonight, his power as a runner, and this game is gonna, when they see the stats, the other teams around the state, they're going to look at this and go, my gosh, Westside's got a running game, and it's really strong. The fact that Avante Dickerson is gone, Cole Payton's gone, Westside's still got a strong team.
And speaking of Avante Dickerson, and speaking of overall just greatness in school records, last time we saw a school record broken was up against Norfolk last year, 5 all-purpose touchdowns for Avante Dickerson. It's the first time we've seen that, as the records that we have, 5 all-purpose touchdowns on both offense and defense.
Well, Westside's had a lot of great players through the years, and this record, if it holds, will go up on the board at Westside. One of the great performances we've ever seen by a Warrior. And, I mean, there's a long list of running backs through the years that have had great games, but we may have seen the greatest game tonight by a running back.
Make sure to stay tuned after this one for the KB postgame show. We'll break down the rest of the Class A, look towards next week, and talk about this big win for the Warriors. Final possible play here after the timeout for the Titans. Tejrel throw up to the end zone and incomplete. So we'll still get one, maybe two more plays for the Titans as they'll try to go to the end zone and get a possible garbage town touchdown.
Tell you what, it really just a great performance by this team tonight with all the injuries that Westside had. Kind of left a mystery going up against one of the top offenses in the state in Papillion South, averaged over 376 yards this season. This was a good test.
Tejrel once again, floater to the end zone, and will be incomplete with 3 seconds left. And it looks like they'll just let be a turnover on downs, excuse me, and Westside will take over and allow themselves to get into win formation. Westside will continue their unbeaten streak now to 16 games with this win. A winning formation coming up now, and Colby Brown and Dominic Rizak, the big factors to this game for this team, are able to close this one out. The Warriors will be back here next week up against Grand Island. That game will be able to be watched here on WTV Live. NCN News Channel Nebraska will also be showing that game on their sites and cable network. but a lot easier of a schedule going forward for the Warriors. You see Grand Island next week, Millard North after that. Then we end off the year with a home game against Norfolk, a home game against Bryan, an away game against Benson. But the Warriors here able to clinch off a statement win here in week 4. They move on to 4-0 on this season as you see Dominic Rizak, the man of the hour, happy and hyped with his performance. And as of right now, he's going to be on the school record boards.
Yeah, he leads the team across the field with the handshakes with Papio South. A lot of congratulations from the Titans to him tonight. I mean, that was a great showing by him. One will long remember. Dominic Rizak, over 300 yards tonight, a possible school record if it holds. 47-19, just a great win for Westside. The third-ranked Warriors stay undefeated at 4-0 now, and things look good midway through the regular season.
So big question here with Millard South, I don't want to say having a blowout against Bellevue West, but really controlled that entire game last night. Can Bellevue West drop from 1 to 3 after this Westside win?
I think so, because it was such a strong win for Westside tonight, and the fact that they have not lost a game, I think that's impressive. The only reason they slipped last week was because of the close win they had against Papillion-La Vista, but this was a good win by Westside tonight, and I think they found out how good Dominic Rizak is, and it really showed tonight what he can do. And I'm telling you what, if I was one of the teams, coaches at Millard South, Bellevue West, they know that they've got to stop a guy here who may be leading the state in rushing after this week.
There's a lot of questions coming into this game. There's a lot of questions of if this team could truly be a contender once again within the top 3 of Class A. There were so many questions, especially with last night's game, of how back and forth that Millard South and Bellevue West game was. Would that be the top 2? Would that be the same thing we're going to see in the title game? And I think Westside right here with this big win has showed that they are truly a contender for the state title.
The one thing you have to remember as this season progresses, are you improving every week? And Westside found out tonight how good their ground game can really be. And if they can get a running game that is really strong, they'll be a tough team to beat in November when the playoffs start, because running in November is the key to victory.
So Westside able to win this one up against Papillion-La Vista South, 47-19. And we'll take a break here to end off this one. We'll come back and get you guys introduced to the KB postgame show. We'll get you more introduction on some other Class A action and the interview with the man of the hour, Dominic Rizak.
We are back at Phelps Stadium where the Warriors come up with a big win tonight over Papio South. And the star of this football game was Dominic Rizak going over the 300-yard mark, 4 touchdowns tonight. Let's send it down to Jaden Taylor, and he's got our star of the game.
So, Dom, I mean, an amazing game here tonight. I'm not sure if you know, 1 yard being able to beat the school rushing yard record for a game. You beat Collins Okafor back in 2007, 308 yards tonight. 4 different touchdowns. I mean, this is just a remarkable feat. How are you feeling out there?
I'm feeling really well. You know, the line was giving me great looks on a few of our misdirections and stuff, and it was about time we popped a few of those. So just proud of my boys up front for getting me there.
So we've seen you a lot in these last couple of games, these 3 games, to have really meaningful touchdowns, but really haven't seen as explosive as you've been tonight. First 3 games combined didn't add up to the same thing that you've had tonight. What allowed you to be so explosive tonight?
Their defensive alignment, you know, really allowed us to exploit them on the run game. And then Coach Score up in the booth was calling great plays against their alignment, so just had a lot of help.
So you're going to Air Force. You really have an opportunity to maybe work with former Millard South quarterback TJ Urbon. How have they been able to maybe give you guidance or maybe give you the best of influence to where you're going to go in your next step?
Just talking with Coach Porter and Coach Calhoun and Coach Means out at Air Force, just helping me improve on things that I need to do this senior year to get ready to go play there next year. Has been a lot of fun going through that experience. So they've helped a lot.
So talk about this team overall. I mean, you play Papio last week. They score right off the bat. You guys were on your heels, especially early in that first quarter. You guys were able to bring back in that one and get that win. There's a lot of questions coming into this week if maybe a possible upset alert for these Titans to go up against this team. You guys make a big statement here. What is the statement that you want to say to the rest of the Class A?
You know, we're still hungry. You know, we're riding that winning streak, but, you know, we're not done yet. Our class is still hungry to go get another one.
So going up against Grand Island next week, what's the biggest thing to continue? What's the biggest thing to look at for this team?
For Grand Island?
Going forward, just next week and going forward.
Just staying hungry, like I said. You know, we just got to, you know, hone in, take it week by week, and not look over any opponents.
All right, cool. Thank you so much. So tonight, our Time 42 player of the game and game ball is going to go to Dominic Rizak. Thank you so much for your time tonight. Thank you so much for your work here tonight.
Yep, thanks, JT.
All right, thank you so much, guys. We're going to take a quick break here on the KB postgame show. We'll be right back, give you more insight into this final matchup, and you get you guys ready for next week. So back here at the KB post-game show, it's been a wonderful night of football back and forth. Westside able to make a big statement, 47-19 win. They had 30 points in the second half, 17 in the first. And a big thing that I was hearing down there, why Papillion South was really starting off close in this game, it was 26 minutes to 4 minutes in that first half for Papillion South in time possession.
Yeah, you really saw that at the start of the game, just ball control for the Titans. That made a difference for them. That's why it was so low scoring. But those big plays in the second half by Westside, including Dominic Rizak, really tipped the scales in the second half. That's why Westside was able to just kind of blow this game out.
Overall on the night, Papillion South had just about double the amount of possession time throughout this, 29 minutes and 15 seconds to Westside's 15 minutes and 45 seconds. But the big man to talk about tonight that we had just spoken to, Dominic Rizak, it's official, a school record, 308 yards here tonight, beats Collins Okafor's 2007 record up against North Platte, a 307. I mean, Dominic Rizak, we knew how special he was. He didn't have quite the start to this season that we thought really as explosive to be one of the top runners in the state. I think this proved it.
Well, we've seen some great running backs through the years here at Westside High School. I can remember Craig Johnson, who went down to the University of Nebraska to play, Collins Okafor, who also went to Nebraska, and then you've got to remember Nate Worth, who played at UNO. He just surpassed all those guys, what they did in one night, 308 yards. It's a night to remember for the Rizak family and for Dominic, too. It really shows you how good a running back he really is, and it's a night he'll not forget.
It's a statement win overall. You're going up against Grand Island. You're getting to the easier part of your season. Grand Island, then Millard North, then Norfolk, then Bryan, and then Benson. These last few games, especially when you have a lot of these other top 10 teams all battling it out. We saw it last night with Bellevue West and Millard South. They're going to see a lot more top 10 teams. The Warriors don't really have to worry themselves around those top 10 teams before they get to the playoffs.
The key to the season, though, Jaden, will be to improve every week. And they did it this week with the running game. If you can just improve in all parts of your game, kicking game, defense, offense, but tonight they really proved this is a running team and they can rush the ball. And believe me, when it comes to the playoffs in November, that makes the difference because you have to run the ball in the cold and possibly in the snow in November to win a state title.
And if there's anything negative to talk about for this Warrior team, even though this is a big win for them, the only thing I think personally, if you want to look at, is the secondary for these Warriors. A lot of guys out. You had John Ross coming out. You had Jack Wimmer, the essential leader of that defense, out here tonight. They allowed 221 yards from a passing, or usually a running style quarterback in Brady Fitzpatrick. Ian Medic had 135 of those yards. How can this Westside secondary adjust and be able to really play their best up against the top teams in the state?
Well, one thing is you have to pass on this Westside defense to beat them, and the defensive line did a really good job for the Warriors tonight, and they really plugged up the holes, and the Titans just couldn't penetrate that defensive line and get some yardage, so they had to throw the ball. And you're going to have some breakdowns in the secondary, but if they can improve down the season, that'll be a plus for them. That's just one area that the team needs to improve in. But I tell you what, the special teams are good. The offense is good. It's a winning formula for Westside for the rest of the season.
Good thing for them as well. They're hoping to see Tommy Connolly and John Mez will be seen back near the playoff time. We'll hopefully see Tommy Connolly as well as Jack Wimmer in the next week or two, which will be a big senior addition to this team. But one thing defensively that other than the secondary, the rush defense that the Warriors were able to put up tonight, the presence in the backfield that they were able to have. Cole Hardman, Ryan Zadiska, Kirk Kubridge at the linebacker position, a guy that we really haven't talked about as much, has allowed a lot of hurries on that Papillion-La Vista South offense.
They got a lot of penetration tonight, and they had a lot of quarterback hurries, but they had some sacks tonight that put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. That defensive line is getting better every week, and they're starting to show what the team last year that won a state title did to win that, and that was put pressure on the quarterback and make some mistakes, and that's what they did, and that caused that one interception for a touchdown right there. You just got to put some pressure on the quarterback, and you'll get some of those turnovers.
So one question that I know a lot of people are thinking of, we're early in the season. We're nearing the halfway point in this regular season. 2 years ago, you get to the state championship, you lose. Last year, you get to the state championship, you win it. How can this team get back to the state championship for a third straight year?
Well, don't make mistakes. Stay healthy and improve every week, and that'll get you to Memorial Stadium in November, and so far they're on the right track.
A great win for the Warriors, 47-19. Westside takes down Papillion South, undefeated continually, 16 straight games. They'll go up against Grand Island next week. It'll be another home game for the Warriors. We'll be able to stream that game for you guys. That'll be our next stream that we can give to all of you. First up, I want to say thank you guys to everybody that's been able to watch. This crew here has worked their butts off to be able to put this game together, put all of these games together for you guys. We appreciate the continued support that the Westside community has had for us. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night.